You see, this is a we just do it kind of show.
Love ya.
Episode
606.
Are you a boner guy?
Oh, I was a boner guy.
You know what? I miss penis.
What are you talking about?
I'm the one who should apologize.
Is it going to be absolutely riveting? Is it going to change your life by any stretch? Probably not, but it's going to be at least entertaining, okay?
By the way, for those people that are in the back, remember to shut the fuck up.
Cuzaroo.
Slap-a-rooney.
It's showtime.
WAATP.
WATP.
Hello, we're Dixie Cousin Roos. Welcome to another episode of Who Are These Podcasts, the only show that isn't watching March Madness, but instead watching eaglets getting fed. I'm your host, Carl. With me today, a man who hasn't been fired by WABC despite professional comedians Kevin Brennan and John Melendez's best efforts. It's Anthony Cumia from the Anthony Cumia Show. What's up, Ant?
Thank you. Yet. Haven't been fired yet.
They're trying now. They're still working on it.
Power those two wield. I'm afraid.
Also with us, a man who would have to have a job in order for you losers to get him fired. It's Adam Busch.
I thought this was a job. Fuck.
Sorry. Also, producer Chris is with us.
Yeah, I thought it was a job too.
Go to whoarethese.com for all the links and all the stuff. We're doing a bonus show this week with Blind Mike on Tuesday. Check that out. Of course, Hackamania is coming up May 9th through 11th. Hackamania.com, promo code WATP for 10% off. And the Dabble House. Watching season 2 of The Tapes with Kate Meany. Anthony, I know originally you wanted to be a part of this, but you're going to be in New York.
Scheduling conflict.
Yes. Well, you have a very good excuse. You and Jim Norton will be doing your show on WABC
April
that
13th.
weekend.
Yeah, April 13th, Sunday night, 8 to 10 p.m. Jim Norton. And E-Rock's going to be hanging out in the studio with us. He actually wanted to do this, which he's definitely going to be the butt of a few jokes. The giant, cushy butt of a few jokes.
Well, he is a dinosaur, marching. So let's not forget that.
Yes.
So anyway, Dabble House is happening that same weekend, April 11th and 12th. Go to dabblecon.live, and that's where you can get the pay-per-view event where we'll be doing things we can't do on YouTube. It'll be behind the paywall. And just a reminder, we do have a viewer film festival, and it is a contest, $500 for the best Stuttering John video, dabblefilmfest@gmail.com, where you want to submit those. We're looking for 4 minutes or less. And if you want, you can use the theme of John's Return to the Dabbleverse. It can be the theme of your movie. Looking forward to checking that out. Also, we encourage our listeners, give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or wherever you review podcasts, and then shit over us in the comment section. Today, we'll be reviewing a show called The Dylan Hour. This was a suggestion from Casey Day. We've all checked it out separately. We've not discussed it with each other beforehand. Let's get into it. It's a show hosted by Dylan Mulvaney, and of course, this just launched. Episode 1 just happened this past Wednesday. Dylan Mulvaney had our guest on, Joe Locke, who I guess is a gay British theatrical actor.
What a surprise.
Yes,
In that order?
yes.
In that order?
Yes, I think gay first, and then actor, and then gay again. And then
Isn't gay actor redundant?
well, especially in musicals.
I want to see what it says on his passport. I don't think it's that.
All right. Let's check out the very beginning. She has her own theme song that she's singing. And I'm going to say she presents as a woman. If anyone says he, that's also acceptable. It, them, whatever. I'll go along with anything. I knew right from the beginning. I'm like, what do you call a Dylan Mulvaney? What do you call a Dylan Mulvaney, Chris?
I had to look it up.
Okay.
It's all she.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think she...
Prior to that, it was what's-this.
Yeah, okay.
Christ.
Well, let's talk about the target audience for this. This is scary for this show.
My couch is open, it's better than therapy. All your soccer moms, all your theys and thems, all your bottom boys, my bisexual femmes. Come one and all, disassociate with me. It's free.
Okay. She's playing all of these different characters who all look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different wigs.
Just different wigs. The facial expression, everything else is the same. So apparently, her target is soccer moms, non-binaries, theys and thems, bottom boys, which I believe are twinks, which is what Dylan used to be, and bisexual femmes, which probably also describes Dylan. This is an interesting combination of people that would enjoy this program.
Yeah.
And they're all mugging like strangers with candy.
Yes.
Amy Sedaris.
Right.
I would just say it starts with an F is the audience.
French people?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. This is a podcast that's been in the works for a long time.
And this podcast has been in the works for almost 3 years. And some of you might know me from like my Days of Girlhood series online where I like documented my transition. But even at the beginning of my time on social media, I was like often having my content used against me by like really horrendous straight white men podcasters.
I didn't get the memo on that. What the
Giving
fuck?
you shit. Giving you shit right there.
Well, I wasn't. I don't think we were making fun of Dylan Mulvaney. I was waiting for her to have a podcast. And apparently, I'm like really late to this. I know. Producer Chris is disappointed. He's like, I thought you were horrendous straight
I
white
said
man
good day, sir.
podcaster.
Yeah.
God damn it. I'm losing my street cred over here. Well, we got a lot of catching up to do then. I wonder why it was not, why it took 3 years. Why do you think it was on pause? Did anything happen over those last 3 years that...
On top of any controversy, I think it just shows you how difficult they are to work with, because this podcast is just her free associating, just rambling for about an hour straight with no real setup, breaks, or topics, and it took 3 years to get her in front of a mic to just talk into it with some cameras. That's how difficult she is to navigate.
How hard is it to get a couple of couches and a curtain? That seems to be the set of
right.
of the podcast these days.
A curtain, you say?
You know, get Stuttering John to send you a ring light because he thinks you're a woman.
Right.
And you're good to go. You got everything you need to do it. But let's find out, why did Dylan start this this podcast?
And I remember thinking like, we need a way to combat this hatred. And I was like, well, I'm just going to have to start a podcast of my own. And thus, the Dylan Hour is now happening. It's here.
So according to this, and there's a lot of reasons that Dylan explains she has a podcast, but the first one was to slap back at the haters. I didn't see a lot of slapbacking happening on this show.
You're giving them more fuel is just about all you're doing there. There's no hater that's going to go, yeah, but you know, when she started the podcast, man, I totally, all my hate just drained out of me.
You can't deny her talent, man. She can really host a show. She's so good at this. Everything that Dylan does is fake. Dylan is playing a character, pretending to be a woman. It's just a flamboyant gay guy. Like, the way that she's pretending and portraying women, I can see why women hate her.
Mm-hmm.
It's a horrible stereotype that it's just like, I want to sleep all day and go to brunch with my girlfriends and drink at 11 a.m. Like that. Like that's kind of her persona. It's like, you know, you're not representing women very well with that shit, right?
It's weird. I've never seen a trans person bring attention to them being trans or be self-important.
You haven't? It's the first time.
I have a hard time with this because it's like we don't need to have an opinion about transgender people to dislike this person. Like you can dislike this person for so many other reasons that are so obvious. My 14-year-old niece was asking me what we were covering. I mentioned Dylan Mulvaney. There's no one more inclusive than her. Like her, what she's grown up in and what's normal for her is just shocking to the rest of us. And she hates this woman with such a passion for only personal reasons. She's like, her idea of what a woman is so reductive and so regressive and such a like over the top cartoon stereotype that I can't tell what progress, maybe that's progress, because I just hate her for her. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny. I wrote down in my notes, like all it takes is a very surface level analysis to realize that Dylan Mulvaney is faking, pretending to be something that she's not. And that's why people don't like her. I mean, your 14-year-old niece could see through this and recognize it's like, this is not helping anyone's cause, having this Dylan Mulvaney prance around.
It's an over-the-top version of a fake girl.
Yes.
Very Broadway musical, like a follow spot should just be on this idiot 24 hours a day. There's no reality there. It's fake. It's bad theater version of a woman.
And think about it. It's reminds me of Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle, everything she does fails. People hate Meghan Markle, and she keeps getting opportunities. This woman took down Bud Light. I mean, Bud Light was like 50% of all beer sales in the U.S. was Bud Light. It was number one by a mile, and she knocked them out. How unlikable do you have to be?
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive, actually.
But she paved the way for Modelo, so that's important.
Well, no, that is a good thing. I agree. Those are delicious. But not the point. The point is that, like, once someone is that hated, you can ruin a brand, a well-known brand.
Yeah.
Why are you getting second chances? Can you just go away now? Now you're starting a pot. Who is paying for this? Actually, she is on a network.
Well, that's a great question because she made it clear right in the beginning. And I thought about it. She's right. I pretty much only listen to podcasts hosted by men my age talking about the things that I know. I don't listen to this very often, nor would I. It's not for me. I don't like it so much. I know it's definitely for someone else, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know who that is, but apparently if you can just talk, not ask questions, just validate a certain kind of vapid existence, people take comfort in that and they enjoy it, and that's it.
Do they?
I'm guessing. Who else is watching this?
I don't know.
I could see a bunch of theater kids being into this.
Well, I was reading through the comments, and all of the comments were fans of Joe Locke.
Yes, because he is actually a very talented person.
Yes,
he's like a musician with a talent. He can sing. So already he's like a real person, and Dylan is kind of pretending, which is why Joe has nothing to say for an hour and a half.
Yeah. Oh, Joe's uncomfortable throughout this, trying to play along. And like I said, Joe's a gay guy too. So it's just two gay guys
Gay dudes, yeah.
chewing the shit, as John would say. And so there's other reasons why Dylan decided to start this podcast.
And another reason that I wanted to do this is because I've had so many iconic conversations behind closed doors with some of these folks, and I want to share that with you. But that also means that sometimes I will be interjecting my own stories or answering my own questions. So if you are exclusively here for the guests or a Dylan Mulvaney hater in general, you might not love this format.
Wow, she's really concerned about the haters. That's a couple of mentions of that right before she even introduces her guests.
That's amazing.
Enough about me. Enough about me. Why don't you all talk about me for a while?
Right. So she said, and she uses this word a few times throughout this podcast, iconic.
Yeah.
I've had so many iconic conversations behind closed doors. Does she know what iconic means?
Apparently not.
You can't have an iconic private conversation with someone. It doesn't even make sense. But also, and then to say like, and by the way, I suck at this. I'm going to be rambling and answering my own questions and very rude to the guest. And so if you don't like me, you might not enjoy this. Like, oh, no, that's actually what I'm here for.
Yeah, that's why we tuned in.
Right. No, this is perfect for us. Thank you very much. All right. She is another girl stereotype. She has to pretend that she loves birthdays because girls love birthdays.
Now, Joe, how do you feel about birthdays?
You know, I'm not a birthday person.
Were you mad at me for missing your birthday?
No, because I don't care about my birthday.
Oh my God, it's the only thing I care about in my life is birthdays.
Are you mad I missed your birthday? I don't care about birthdays. Yeah, but you're still sore at me though, right?
What did I
I
just
don't
say?
care, you bloody poofter.
He doesn't give a shit about his birthday. Most people don't. I'm just going to throw that out there. Like, oh my God, that's all I care about is birthdays. Neat. Is that what your personality is today? Cool.
And it wasn't even a question. She asked something that, regardless of the answer, she was going to say the exact same thing. So it's just, and birthdays and back to me, and back to me, and back to me. She asked him a question and then doesn't ask him anything else for 22 minutes. This is a 40-minute podcast.
I love it.
I'm trying to remember what the question was. Was it, can I go with you to that Greek island? I think she invited herself on a vacation with him at some point.
It was some vague version of, what do you think of me?
Right. All right. Well, they do have twink juice ready to go.
You know what we're calling this one for you, honey?
What?
Twink juice.
Twink juice.
Cheers. It's an
And
espresso
mine feels
martini.
like
How fitting.
Twink juice.
So it's true.
It is true about these espresso martinis. Now we
It's
know.
just such like blatant over sexualization of everything. That's another thing. Like there are plenty of women doing podcasts, whether they're good or not, you know, that can be decided by you. But they're not constant just sexualization about themselves and their guests.
Well, Megyn Kelly definitely is always.
Yeah. You get like, but trans women, it's a constant sex thing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem to be capable of speaking about anything else that matters in the world.
Yeah, you can tell that Dylan's much more interested in her posture and how she spread out her dress and how she's sitting on the couch than she is about any conversation that they're having.
Yeah, that's what took 3 years.
Probably picking out an outfit. That might be it. Now, and you said, or maybe it was you, Anthony, you said that, it's just kind of this random, rambling conversation they have. But no. There are segments to this show.
Oh.
And we're going to introduce the first segment here.
Nice.
Talk to me about bitter and sweet of your week.
Ooh, oh gosh, you literally told me to think about this and I didn't even.
I know, last night.
My
high and low.
You know what my sweet.
This is good. No, that's what they do on podcasts, especially on the first episode. They say what the segments are.
Oh yeah,
the first segment of the Dylan Hour with Joe Locke is bitter and sweet of our week. It's our high and low, our rose and thorn, if you will. I love to find the positive, but I'm not scared to go to the negative. Give it to us, Joe.
Okay, so that's
bitter and sweet. New bid on scorched beef.
Spin the wheel of meat after this.
Douche your dressing coming up after bitter and sweet.
Surprised you didn't have some weird news. That would have been fun.
Weird news.
So I like that they've been hanging out all week because they have these conversations about like driving around together and stuff. And so she told him like, hey, just so you know, I'm going to ask you about like what a good thing that happened this week and a bad thing. He couldn't be bothered to come with any prep whatsoever. She's like, bitter and sweet. And he's like, oh, that's right. You did say something about that.
Well, after driving around with her for a week, he knows how this is going to go. It's going to be the segment where she interrupts him.
Probably, yes.
That could be the bitter right there, is just having to spend a fucking week with you.
And on top of that, they're not driving around. He's driving her.
Right.
He's from London, and he's driving her around to her errands while he's on vacation.
Yeah, he had to drop her off for some interview she was doing. Yeah, it really is a bizarre relationship these two have.
How do they get along? They're the exact opposite. He has no thoughts, no opinions, no energy, and is very talented and is reserved and grounded. She's the exact opposite in every way, but they clearly enjoy each other.
Have you seen Joe before on shows, or have you seen him perform?
I went and watched some of him on Sweeney Todd, the Broadway musical.
Yes, okay.
And he's a musician. The guy is a real musician. If you were to hang with him, there'd be something to connect on because he has a talent.
I don't know anything about Joe, so I'm wondering if like she just sucked the life out of him. Because you're right, he doesn't. He looks miserable, and it's like, how much time do we have to waste out here?
It's like a married couple, I guess. He's reserved. She doesn't give a fuck, and she gets him out of his shell, and he likes to clean up. I don't know.
It's like Alec Baldwin and Hilaria. Did you see that clip this week, Anthony? I'm sure you did.
Oh yeah. Where she just kind of gives him the what have you?
What did she say? Like me talk, you not talk. Me talk, you not talk.
There's a wall here. We're going to pretend this isn't here. You're not, and he's trying to compliment her. And it shows you that kind of feeling you get from Hilaria is the same feeling you get from Dylan Mulvaney. It transcends anything. It's just a Karen quality, a real vapid, shallow, egotistical, attention-getting, just like piece of glitter that talks.
Yeah, it's funny how we brought up Meghan Markle, Hilaria Baldwin. There's a reason why we're seeing these parallels. So I'm going to give you an example of just really rude interruption and nonsense.
A lot of auditions. Like 9.
Zoom?
A few Zoom. Then they flew me out here.
Oh, this scares me. Do you know this reference? Zoom, zoom, zoom. Make my heart go boom, boom, boom. My supernova girl.
I do, but I don't.
Oh, God. It's Xenon Z3.
Yeah, I don't have a clue.
Xenon is equal?
No.
Xenon Girl of the Century? No. And that is where the age difference comes to play.
Yeah.
Did you catch how that was British for go fuck yourself?
It's like bless your heart in the South. So he's talking about these auditions he's going on, Zoom auditions, and then she has to go off and start singing a song. And that really is. I mean, you see it with Ray DeVito and Chad Zumach. If you hear a word that triggers you into singing a song, you are a slow person. I'm telling you.
Reminds me of a song.
All right. So speaking of Sweeney Todd, he's talking about how he's performing in this Broadway musical, and there's a question here. I think I know the answer.
But I've watched so many Broadway shows now. I feel very lucky.
And you've been in one.
Been in one now.
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd.
What was that like?
Amazing. I could just sing to Sutton Foster every night.
Were you friends with her?
She's amazing. She's so cool.
She's lovely.
Like, yeah.
Are you friends with her? She's amazing. Chris, ask me if I'm friends with Adam Busch. He's great. He's great. He's a good guy.
Is he a birthday person?
He's great. He's great. Obviously, they're not.
He
friends.
couldn't be more uncomfortable and awkward sitting there during this. The host is not making the situation comfortable for the guest whatsoever. And again, if that was the MO, the HOMO, it would be one thing, you know, that's the show. You just sit there and Dylan makes the guest uncomfortable and it's kind of funny and awkward. But this is just what kind of vapid, self-centered piece of shit Dylan Mulvaney is.
I'm wondering what other guests is she going to get on the show? Because when you see people being treated like this, you're like, oh, I don't want to go on that. I just have to entertain Dylan Mulvaney while she mugs for the camera for an hour. No, thank you.
It might be lost on Trisha Paytas.
Trisha might show up. If the set is pink, that's all she needs to know. She'll be there.
There might be snacks.
This Joe Luck guy it's like he was born to do this podcast because he'll be the best guest they ever get. This guy who doesn't mind, just cut me off. I don't want to talk. He's like that friend you go out with that you're looking forward to. You can just sit. They're going to talk forever. He's like, yeah, you just go. I'm tired. You just go. He's happy. She cuts him off. She belittles him. She makes him seem like he's her assistant when he's actually the talented, successful one. And he doesn't give a shit. Anyone else who has any kind of thing to promote or wants to look good or just wanted to get their name out there is going to be so disappointed in having to stand here next to this microphone during this Dylan Mulvaney infomercial.
I have the perfect example of what you're saying. This is my last clip on here. This is how the show ends.
Everyone, I've had the best time with my dear friend Joe. Joe, do you have anything else to add?
I have to add that no, I have nothing to add.
Okay. Would you ever host a podcast?
I would but I don't think I'd have a career if I did.
I think you give it some time.
I think you called out Dylan there at the end. Would you host a podcast? No, I don't want to be in this situation.
There are certain
I know how to stay in my lane.
There are certain people that I look at or hear or have actually had conversations with where I don't understand them. They might as well be aliens. I would have no business being in the same room as them because I just don't get it. There wouldn't be 1 second of time. I interviewed Perry Farrell once.
Yeah.
And it was exactly that. He sat down, he talked. I didn't get anything he was saying. There was nothing, no common ground that I could grab onto. And that's Dylan Mulvaney. That's like a person that I'm looking at going, might as well be from Mars. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
And the idea that you'd talk to your guest and be like, all right, you have anything else to say? And he's like, yeah, I have, fuck, man. I've got nothing. This is such a draining conversation. He can't even fake having something to say, like promote something you're in or anything.
He had no experience in finishing a sentence. He was just expecting her to cut him off. And when she didn't, he was just kind of left there. You know, there's an interesting quality that could be at play where people in the UK and Europe tend to like or fetishize qualities of Americans that we don't necessarily like the kind of I don't care what you think and I'm not self-aware and I'm just knocking stuff over, this kind of like over-the-top bullying American that I'm not the biggest fan of, but that people can be charmed by when they see it. Like, wow, look at that. It's a real cowboy. Like, they just don't give a fuck.
Cowboy.
Yeah, I live my whole life going, oh, pardon me, excuse me, yo, come somebody, you know, and these people just, they don't give a fuck. And I think there's an idolization of that. There's a kind of like acceptance of it in the way we would accept a uptight, posh person as, oh, look at them. They're such a stereotype of that British guy. Come here, you got to meet this guy. He's an asshole. That kind of thing.
So you think the British people like Dylan Mulvaney? Is that what you're telling me?
Listen, on top of the sexual things at play, I think the reason they might get along is what we find is very, like, Karen and just too much. Sometimes people from overseas find as a uniquely American quality, and they enjoy it in ways that we don't.
It reinforces why they hate us.
100%. And rightly so.
All right, the second segment of the show is, this is a great question.
And that brings us to our next segment, What a Girl Wants. Every week, I'm going to be asking our guests, what does a girl want? But in this case, what does a gay want? What does Joe Locke want? Joe, what is something that you are desiring, whether that's a Dyson Airwrap, world peace, anything in between? What are you looking for, Joe?
Door?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, what do you want?
Exit sign.
Be honest. It's not something you need. What do you want? What do you want?
I want.
He can't muster up the energy. I mean, this is such a softball. What's something you enjoy doing? Jesus, I didn't know I was going to be asked that. Fuck.
I'd rather be fucking a woman right now.
An ice cream sandwich. Say anything.
10 years of improv training. This is what he's got.
Line. So, of course, Dylan is just all over the place.
I bought you flowers in Trader Joe's.
Oh, you did. Saw you buy me flowers. This is kind of coconutty.
It is.
I think I like it. Ooh, coconut donuts. Now I'm thinking about church. Oh.
Who would follow this? And I have this weird thing, because I host a podcast, that I think about all the other shows that are way better than mine that are happening right now. And I go, fuck, I got to up my game because there's so many options out there. You go on YouTube and pick out a million shows with people having a conversation with each other. Mine better be the best conversation. It's like these people are like literally trying to just fill airtime. There's nothing going on here.
Nothing.
This is Dylan talks about what her type is.
I think maybe like the distinct difference between our types is like, oh, I think I know what I like that you don't.
What?
I like a man with a really skinny
You're gonna
little
say
finger.
wedding.
Oh, with a wedding. I like a man with a wedding ring. Oh my god, just what we need. A controversial first episode. No, I like a man that has really long, slender fingers that journals in the morning and kind of looks gaunt.
I don't like that.
Kind of sunken.
Yeah, you don't want like a tortured.
Kind of like a drummer.
Yeah, that's
You
not
don't like
for
that?
me. No.
Okay, see, that's good.
Just keep saying stuff.
A guy with fat fingers is why she's sitting like that.
So I have a chance.
I can play drums.
She asks him a question, she answers it herself, and then moves on.
Yep.
Just talks right over him, really.
Yep.
Then they go into this overshare, don't care lightning round, which is the most ridiculous part of the show because it's just these quick, random questions with one-word answers. And I don't know how anyone would find that entertaining in any way. And then we find out what they've been up to while they've been in Hollywood.
I mean, it kind of did feel like AI in the way that if you had typed in Paris Hilton's birthday party, that would have popped up as far as the collection of people in that room.
Yeah.
And I had a good time.
I had a great time.
And that felt like that was like your first LA day, technically.
Yeah, and you took me to Paris Hilton's house.
It was a good place to take
But
you.
tonight we're
going to a Vanity Fair party.
We are.
And who are you wearing?
I'm wearing Celine. Head to toe.
I'm changing into something slightly sluttier because it's a good party to like potentially kiss someone.
Okay. Oof. That threw me off. Now, I wasn't surprised they went to Paris Hilton's birthday party. That makes sense. Okay, now they're going to the Vanity Fair party. But the idea, I'm trying to figure out, like, who would be attracted to Dylan Mulvaney? Because Jim Norton's taken. Who else is looking for a chick with a dick? And I assume that that's what's going on. I haven't been told that officially.
I think there's a world of hurt under that gown.
Yes, I think you might be right.
Why would you assume that? Why would that be the assumption?
Well, I
didn't
guess
even think about it, but
I guess
appreciate
it's
that you
because
spent a lot of time on it.
I guess it's because of this clip right here.
Ooh.
Because I just can't be bothered to organize it all.
I want to get paid to lay in bed.
I don't want that.
You don't? No. You aren't really. You don't love a bed as much as I do.
See, it's girl shit. Like, oh, I want to get paid to lay around all day, and I love birthdays. It's all I care about.
It's about the closest you could get to doing nothing and laying in bed is what Dylan Mulvaney's doing. The fucking balloon is the thing with the most personality in that fucking room.
I can't, like, in the,
You're
I know
the
you're
first
the
person
ADHD
ever.
one, but I can't sit still.
You're the first person to ever use my living room. I've never sat on that couch in my life. This is the first time I ever sat on a couch. Put me to bed.
Okay, I'm sorry. What I was trying to set up was this clip.
Yeah. I walked in last night. I went for dinner and I came home. And I walked in and I was like, Dylan, where are you? I turn and Dylan is buck naked in bed.
Tits out.
Tits out.
Hair
and she's just like,
to the
"Hi."
ceiling. Always can never get the hair out. It's all the fake hair.
See, this is why I think she's still got her unit in place, because she's not going to try to scare this guy out of there with a post. Am I crazy on this, Adam? I don't know enough about it. I'm just
there would be a lot of downtime during and after the surgery that we would have seen during that transitional phase of the stubble and before the hormones kicked in. I think we would have seen like MIA Dylan for a while they do that just sick, twisted surgery. So yeah, I think
brutal.
there's probably still a cock and balls.
Just the idea that Dylan's just hanging out buck naked in bed and her guests can like walk in.
So the idea that she would have something and not talk about it openly sounds so weird to me. Like, I feel like if she had one, we'd be hearing about it or seeing it or it'd be, banging on the table 24/7.
All right. Well, I didn't ask you what you wanted, Adam.
It's a constant sex thing with them. So she was probably hoping that the twink kid would, disrobe and they'd roll around and have some of that, what they call gay sex.
That's what I'm picking up too on this, but I could be way off. One more clip on here. So they do this segment at the end that's called Last Call Confessions, and I guess they take phone calls or voicemails and they.
What about who the man?
Yeah, they don't do who the man.
Let's go to the phone.
It's not Friday. Who the man Friday? No, what's FU Friday?
FU Friday.
No one ever participates in FU Friday. It's so funny. But this is the laziest thing. And a lot of shows have this format. It's just like, call in and we'll give you advice. Like, oh yeah, I need advice from someone who took Bud Light down. It's like, I don't need any advice from this person for a career or anything that I could possibly do. And again, I don't think she understands what iconic means.
I think that I've always kind of erred on the side of like cringe is kind of iconic. So like if you're ever trying to be cool, I think that that's not a great way to meet people because you're not showing up as your authentic self.
Cringe is iconic.
This person is talking about showing up as your authentic self.
I know this again. This is what I'm talking about.
Context.
Everything about Dylan Mulvaney is fake. Everyone sees right through it. And to use words like authentic self is so delusional.
See, I think she's being her authentic self, and I think we would hate her exactly the same, whatever her gender or sexual preference is. It transcends that. And I think maybe, just maybe, this kind of hate is progress, because we're getting to the point now where we don't just hate people because of a choice they made. Like, we can actually get to know them and decide how we feel. And we have people like Ava Riza, who is John's last guest on his show, talking about how Anthony Cumia is not a friend to the transgender community. But God damn it, he's funny. And people like John have no place for that kind of duality, for those two thoughts at the same time. They don't know anything outside of defining a person for the thing we like the least or the thing we like the most about them. But this is something else. We just don't like them. It transcends all of those things. So we're at this point now where maybe that is something. Ava was begging me to come on this show so she could talk to Anthony. I said, that's not going to happen. But just out of curiosity, what would you talk to him about? And she's like, I would just talk to him about comedy. I'd like to ask him some questions. I just think it would mean something for Anthony and a trans person to be on the same screen at the same time.
I watched Ava on Shuli's show after the John thing. They went through it, and then Ava popped on. Ava seems very cool and funny, and this weird, quirky personality is captivating. You know, it's compelling. And yeah, I wouldn't have any problem. Like I ain't gonna be on no show with no doctor. But it would never be that way.
Yeah.
But you bring up a great point also in that we can hate people for who they are as people, not the categories they fit in. But imagine having that convenience that if people don't like you, you could just say, well, it must be because they're transphobic or Islamophobic or homophobic, whatever it is. And what a great shield to have against, oh, maybe I'm just a fucking asshole and people just don't like me for me.
Mm-hmm.
My next door neighbor is Hispanic, and when they moved in, my wife and I got them a little care package, welcome to the neighborhood kind of thing, went over. He was a total dick to us. And he's been a prick to me for years. And I don't know, maybe he's racist against white people, but that's not my first thought.
Yeah, but you put green cards in there. It wasn't cool, dude.
I was wearing my ice
hat.
It's true. I'm so unlikable for so many reasons. It's so far down the line for me to think of ethnicity or color.
Right, yes,
It
I can
takes a
see why
while.
you would dislike me, but not because of my race, I wouldn't think. But
Exactly.
who knows?
But I love that we're here at this point now where people like John, who call themselves Democrat liberals and think they can use people as pawns and don't understand when they're not like, I don't just hate this person because of one thing they said or because you want me to. These are not lines that are drawn so hard. We can start to at least, they say that the greatest way to get a group together is to just exclude another one. And you look at this Dabbleverse, and I swear to God, it is the most diverse collection of older white men you can find in America. It's
We got a
spectrum.
Shuli, we got Earl David Reed. What else we got?
Once I saw a girl, but it was Helga.
Oh, damn it. So it goes.
Well,
but
think about yeah, no, please.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's interesting when Dylan was just a gay guy, he was on Price is Right. Yep. And after the Bud Light thing came out, people were finding old footage. And Dylan was the most obnoxious contestant on The Price is Right. Just needed so much attention, so over the top. And he went, oh, this
Which,
person's
by
just
the
an-
way, is a perfect guest or contestant
right.
for the Price is
Yeah.
Right. They want that.
Correct. But I find it obnoxious and annoying.
Yes.
So
I'm trying to watch a serious game show here.
Fucking
Well, it's the
Plinko, I
yodel
don't know what's
guy.
happening.
So, yeah, it has nothing to do with being trans. Dylan's always been an obnoxious, annoying retard. And I'm glad that we figured that out and discovered that right here on Who Are These Podcasts. And that leads into our
Cringe of the week. Cringe of the week.
Now, last week we were checking out PFG TV, our buddy Scorch, and Scorch was saying there's only 3 episodes left. And then they're...
Until our next anniversary.
Yeah, I know. He's always got anniversaries for some reason.
Anniversary. Yeah, of PFG TV. And it's like, I've been watching you do this for like 20 years, Scorch. What
Nope,
is this
it's our 1 year
year?
anniversary. We're celebrating.
Yeah. He's so weird, man.
Was he always an alcoholic? Because that's new, right?
Yeah, that's kind of new. I don't remember him being a big drinker.
Because he would do shows from bars years and years ago, even before Opie was doing it. And I don't remember him drinking, and now he has to do a shot when the show starts, and he's chugging
With
cocktails
that
throughout
hole
it.
that he has, that friggin' woman who won't shut up. It's not like Scorch has plenty to say anyway about anything,
Right.
but she will interrupt every fucking thing this guy tries to say. She's a perfect hole.
Yeah, she's the worst. Oh, come on, Scorch. Like, I was playing the
Yeah,
clips
I
last
heard
week.
that one too.
Where she was trying to get Scorch to stop talking. I'm like, oh my, what is your role on this fucking
Talking
show?
about his app, his
Yes,
dive bar
dive bar
app.
locator.
It's so sad and just funny. Like, dive bars are for the locals. You don't
Correct.
go somewhere to go to a dive bar. It's not like, oh,
They
I
don't
live in
want you there.
Wisconsin, but I want to go to Arizona because there's a dive bar there. There's dive bars everywhere, and they're populated by local people. You know, if someone from out of town walks in, they all kind of look like, who the fuck is that? And there's no need for a dive bar locator app. It's so Scorch.
And the entire business model of that app is based on these local cheap dive bars wanting to spend an excessive amount of money on online advertising for an app, which is always what local dive bars are into. They have this huge advertising budget they're just looking to spend on people like Scorch.
I guess we'll pull from the Super Bowl this year and do this dive bar locator instead. So this is him starting up his show. on the most recent episode, just last night,
Scorch.
live
Changed.
on Scorch. Yep. Don't adjust your sets, everyone. This is not my fault.
Oh, no.
Scorch is shot out of a cannon. He's all excited, and he's got no volume.
It's
And he
like
still doesn't know
John
it.
and Brennan. They just never check anything before they go live.
And Scorch actually has a staff. He actually has people. It's not like Opie, who's just putting
Right.
duct tape on a camera somewhere.
This is the show where he actually brought content to it. You can't hear it.
He's
Yeah,
fucking
oh,
killing it.
Wow, you really are. Huh?
Here, let's go back. Hey, let's start this over.
And that's the cure for cancer.
No, just
Anyway.
Okay.
Scorch's PMG TV. Y'all know Megan, right? Give it up for Megan.
Oh wait, hi.
Wow. Yeah, they didn't hear the first part, so yeah.
Show, man. This is a
All right,
real
you're on the
mess.
board. Mike is out of the fucking.
Yeah.
We're firing Mike as of today.
He's
And
leaving.
Raiden's in.
He's leaving.
We can just tell that this is going to be one of these shows. Mind you guys, today is the second to the last show.
I think it goes. You can tell it's going to be one of these shows, the kind riddled with technical difficulties. Like every episode of Scorch's PFG TV.
Of Scorch's PFG TV, as we know it.
It's the end of the show.
You and Mike.
Remember when I said about people have to start singing the fucking song? These are
I
low
just-
IQ individuals.
It just popped in my head when she started singing exactly what you said. Yes.
And my
Then
hatred
I
for her
go-
feels pure. You know, I know I just hate her for her, and that's nice.
It's not all frumpy broads. It's
Guys, we can all be honest as guys here. She's on because she's eye candy, right? That's really, she's just a decoration on the set.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's in love with her. He's clearly
I
in love
know.
with her. Every time he just can't. He thinks this podcast is what it's going to take to nag her.
People think a sidekick or a co-host has to be really animated and loud and over energized. It's like, no, you just try to be something to have the host bounce off of. You can bounce a lot off of her, quite frankly. But it's but like Ed McMahon didn't constantly interrupt Johnny and sit
She's a
there
human
and
backstop.
and start yelling about things and bouncing around in the seat.
Right.
Well, according to John, the co-host for the Tonight Show is supposed to sit third row audience, hold a coffee cup, and never say a fucking word.
Right.
Oh, job well done, John.
A different version of the show on the road. But we say on the road because I guess we can start off with
This is big.
with that. Let's Mike, are we good to start off with that?
Remember last week they got the vehicle wrapped and they didn't get a photo of it yet, but he was all excited about it.
He showed it off of his phone, and he cried when he saw the logo on it. He literally broke into tears because it was a dream of his. It's just pure Scorch, and I love it, dude.
It's great. So this is the big reveal now. This is what brought him to tears.
That on the road bit?
Are you talking about
That-
what we just set up tonight?
Yeah.
It's the first thing you guys are doing.
Because what's happening is starting. Well,
Oh.
okay.
Who's camera?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Look at
Starting, we are leaving here
Whoa.
on the 9th. Okay. On the 9th,
Good
right?
stuff.
Is that-
Wow.
No,
Yeah. No. We're leaving on the 30th.
and 9 days.
days from now.
You're right. The show's done.
Yeah, let's go.
So listen. So we went out and we got our motorhome, the DBL1. We told you about it last week.
They call
We
it
said we're gonna-
DBL1. They're a dive
Dive
bar
bar
locator.
oh
Yeah.
Deep
douchebag something.
douchebag losers.
Douchebag losers one.
I'll show you some pictures of it. We actually brought it to a couple of the places as well. This that you see right now is the DBL back of my Jeep. So when people, because we're towing the Jeep behind the home.
So that is the
So when people,
spare wheel cover. I think that's what brought him to tears. Seeing that on
Oh,
his
right.
Jeep.
Yes.
This logo is so stupid too. I blew my money on that.
now not only,
How
now,
much?
not only will people see that, but they're going to be able to see the QR code on the home.
You're gonna be able to see the QR code. It's always good when you're driving a vehicle to have a nice QR code.
As we're getting chased out of town.
Could you imagine someone in a car next to this thing going, I can't get the UI.
You're in a convertible.
Yeah, it's bouncing too much. I want to know what the dive bar locator is. Like, no one would give a shit.
Fucking idiot.
video.
Sure.
And believe me when I tell you, people are taking notice of this home.
Oh man, they're honking when we're rolling down the road. Someone posted a
probably
picture this
leaking
morning
oil.
of some.
It's because you're dragging a child behind you. This guy doesn't know how to drive this
Your
thing.
dog is still on the leash.
It's going the wrong way. Well, everyone's paying attention to this thing.
He keeps stopping so they can scan the code, and they keep slamming into him.
Somebody in the DBL1 coming back from a certain place this morning
Oh.
at about 6 o'clock in the morning.
Whoa. Things are getting weird. Okay, got it.
So we checked out a few of the family members from Dive Bar Locator, which we'll get into in a second. First one would have been this picture here, which was just some dude that we went to the White Pig in Mondovi. And this
Ooh,
dude...
I love the white pig in Mondovi.
I'll bet you do.
I'm sure, you know,
Albino swamp.
I thought you were saying I'm the white pig.
I named after her. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Did they ever
albino
zoom in on this thing? I
I'm
want to
really
see what this
shitty
thing
at
looks
names,
like.
I don't remember his name, but he
Oh,
came
man.
in and was like, "You're Scorch! Oh my God! I blah 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 blah."
He's not gonna care.
He actually said la 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 la.
He
la,
did,
la.
and then the White
He said
Pig,
the White Pig,
the
of course
White
he said
Pig
that.
owners were like, "Huh."
Zoom in on this thing at some
Yeah,
point.
we
do they
should probably
not?
do this. So,
Right.
so
Hey,
me.
thanks to that guy
dude,
right there.
thank you.
I'll zoom in on it for you, Scorch. Jeez, Louise.
Yeah.
What is this color scheme?
Oh
It's
my
like he was
God.
graffitied by a gang of gay
Dylan
people.
Mulvaney.
Yeah, right.
Someone suggested, was it you guys that were suggesting that it was the cheapest colors they had available?
Oh, that was the only ones that were left.
Discount.
Yeah. If you want purple and neon green and this horrible version of maybe red, that, you know, in the book, they're like, well, these colors, you know, they're our cheapest ones. There's not much of a demand for this.
What was the concept for the design? He was like, just throw the paint at it, and wherever it lands, that's what we're going with.
I've seen vehicles get wrapped before. Like when I worked at E-Bounds World, we got a van wrapped that we would drive around. And you typically want to cover it with all sorts of different shit. Not just a logo, the name, and then random swooshes going around for no reason at all. And they're like, man, people are really taking notice of this thing. Yeah, they're pointing and laughing.
Exactly.
Your eye doesn't know what to settle on. It's like the
It's so
worst
busy,
advertisement
yeah.
ever. You don't know what you're supposed to be looking at. What is it? It's just a bunch of shit.
Think Nike Swish, you know, as a logo. It's very simple. Everyone knows it, very identifiable. This is all over the place. There's a guy with a drink, a camera. The shirt is busy. No one even knows what a dive bar locator is.
Right. Yeah, keep it simple, stupid. I never talk about this, but I used to be in marketing. Did I tell you that before?
Oh, wow. I never knew that.
If this logo ever went out to a client, our designer would be fired immediately. Like, this is such an amateur design, like you said, for a logo. You want to keep it simple, something iconic, so that as you build your brand, people recognize it immediately and go, oh, that's like, for example, a garbage can with headphones on. Perfect. Nailed it right out of the gate. Never need to revisit it again. Perfect logo.
Right.
Why does he have a
90s,
camera?
late 90s, early 2000s clip art.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously this is a tourist because there's a camera because, you know, tourists have cameras on them.
Right.
And he's holding on to a drink with an umbrella in it. So it tells me it's like a fancy cocktail, which if
Yeah.
it's a dive bar, should be a pitcher of beer.
Yeah. This guy's on a cruise or a vacation in the Caribbean or something, not in a dive bar where you would just, you know, it should be some guy with an army jacket on, a beer in his hand.
Yeah, this guy's going to get his ass kicked at the dive bar.
Yeah.
We all know
Jimmy
we're all
Buffett
local.
fan.
You fucking piece of shit.
When that walks into your local bar, you're not like, let's make him feel welcome. And I love how Scorch is just like, for him, this is actually an idealized version of himself on there. He's like, if I just shaved and cleaned up a little bit, if I could afford a camera and a clean shirt, that'd be me on there. Look at that guy.
This brought him to tears.
Yes.
Oh, that's right, because he saw himself, and it was just so beautiful.
And so far, they've only sold this into bars in Wisconsin. What about this logo? Does that scream Wisconsin dive bar to you? That's where you're looking on the app to be like, oh, I wonder if this place is good. I don't know. This guy with the Hawaiian shirt seems to like it.
It would succeed in keeping me away.
For sure.
Yeah.
Where being a dive bar don't mean shit. What does that mean?
Dude, that's the worst tagline. Scorch explained it once. I still don't understand it.
I mean, I get it in theory. I know what he's trying to say, but it actually is a bunch of words that you read and you know less for having read the sentence.
You know, because you know what the dive bar locator is. If you were just driving by and read this, you wouldn't know what the fuck it means. Where being a dive bar don't mean shit.
And you have to censor it too. Nope. So you can't even write the word shit. So like pick a different word if you can't write the word you want to put on there. But he's trying to say dive bars are cool. Mm-hmm. How about dive bars are cool? Dive bar locator.
There you go.
I mean, just again, keeping things simple.
That's why you get direct, Carl. That's good. Mm-hmm.
All right. I want to play a little bit. Tom Myers released a new episode of his political show after being off for a week.
You know, it's no different than, a police officer running to the scene of a crime or a firefighter running into a burning building. It's what I do.
And of course, Tom Myers is trying to get his watch hours up, so I'm here to help. I want him to get monetized. So
You're
we
a
can
good
start
man.
getting those $1.99 super chats coming in. So I'm going to go to his website where he posts all of his podcast episodes. This one came out on Thursday, and as you know, I love the monologue. The monologue is really where he brings out his talents, and it shows that he's a better comedian and podcaster than the rest of us.
Hello, and welcome to Tom Myers versus the rest of the world.
How many views do you think this has? We can't see right now, producer Chris. Well, if you had a guess, it's been up since Thursday.
Oh, since Thursday.
Yeah, his new episode.
Dozens.
I was going to say 30.
Yeah, like 15 people.
41.
Wow.
Okay.
3 of this is me at this point, but still.
All right, you gotta put yourself in there because it's a genuine percentage.
I can't believe how close everyone just got to that. Everyone nailed it.
That was being generous.
Yeah.
Well, it's worth noting that these are Opie numbers.
Yeah.
It's
More
the same
than
audience. Yeah.
I said 30 because I thought of Opie's views. And
yeah, I'm like in a couple days, Opie will have 126, so maybe he has 15 now.
Unless he's talking about me, and then
right,
a couple of thousand. But
or unless he's not in the clip.
Right. If he's just using old interviews from Sirius XM or WNEW.
Theo Vaughn said something funny to another guy, and I watched. It's the best of my show.
Yeah.
We're learning more and more about Donald Trump in his second term as president of the United States. For example, we now know that Donald Trump is the answer to the age-old question, who would be a big enough asshole to piss off Canada?
What do you think? Pretty good opener right there.
I get it. Like,
yeah, it's a joke.
It is technically a joke. Yep. If you dissected it, there would be the organs of a joke in there.
Correct.
Yeah, we got it. It doesn't mean we want it.
Right.
Have it back now.
Like AIDS.
Yeah.
You got it.
Speaking of Canada, they now have a new prime minister, Mark Carney. It's nice to see Canada following our lead and going for an older chief executive. It's nice to see him trying to patch things up with us by trying to relate to us by electing a leader who, like Trump, looks like he's already decomposing.
Holy shit. This is a written down joke. How many words?
Where's the end of that joke?
I got to back that one up again.
I might have to stop for gas.
And pay attention to this. Pay attention to how the tone, it's always the same. It always starts by right here, and then we run out of energy till we get down to the end of the joke.
I run out of energy listening. It's so long.
It would kill any joke, even if it was good. You can't deliver it like that.
That's why he does the Scottish ending.
I try to bring it back up again.
Yeah. Scottish Aussies do that.
Yep.
And I
have a new prime minister
in the fight. Saw a big shack.
Off Canada. Speaking of Canada, they now have a new prime minister, Mark Carney.
Okay.
It's nice to see Canada following our lead and going for an older chief executive.
Okay.
It's nice to see him trying to patch things.
It's nice to see.
Nice
started
to
two
see,
sentences in a row. How did you not proofread that and go, oh yeah, I got to use a different?
I don't post
term.
like Twitter posts if I see that I've done that.
Yep.
Like you read it quickly and go, yeah, this is stupid. People would think I'm retarded if I
in the show description today. I said join us at 2 p, and then in the next sentence I said Adam and Anthony will be joining us. I went, oh, that's stupid.
That's garbage.
Right.
Fix that.
Things up with us by trying to relate to us by electing a leader who
again. This is just poorly written.
Yeah.
patch things up with us by trying to relate to us by electing a leader who, like Trump, looks like he's already decomposing.
Actually, yeah. I might be giving Tom too much credit here, but
Please?
he sees a crappy punchline like that, and he's like, "Oh, I got to put a paragraph in the middle of that."
Yeah, he could have gotten to that so much quicker.
Right.
None of that was necessary.
Again, I think there's similarities between Tom and Opie. They both, in their mind, they know about working hard. Like, they know what that is, and they know they're supposed to apply that to the thing they love. So Opie thinks the best way to work hard is to show them all that I can get up at 5 a.m. every day. Doesn't matter what I talk about, as long as I'm... That's the job. The job is, we're looking for someone who can get up early. Oh, this guy's got it, and that's what he's doing.
Do I need to comb my hair? That's not necessary. Great.
Not necessary. It's radio. It's radio. Why would you? But this guy, Tom, loves writing. I got to work hard. Jerry Seinfeld works hard, so I'll write. And they like writing, and they just keep writing because they think that's working hard. And I bet he even has a good joke every once in a while and then completely overwrites it because he just wants to do something and has no idea where this energy is supposed to be placed. And then here are we shitting on him for all of his hard work.
Shame
and
on
rightfully
us.
so.
Right?
Exactly. A lot has happened since the last time we were on this show. During Trump's speech, Congressman Al Green was escorted out of the chamber for heckling when Trump incorrectly said he had a mandate from the American voters.
What was that? A little editorializing
Editorializing the joke.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so unnecessary to do that, but it's got to be political on his side of things. I think this one gets a big pop.
Trump's speech, Congressman Al Green was escorted out of the chamber for heckling when Trump incorrectly said he had a mandate from the American voters. A black member of Congress being marched out is the perfect symbol for how far back the Republican Party wants to take this country.
Low-hanging fruit, but the fans love it.
Yeah, the panel was like, well, it sounded like a joke.
Yeah, well, Republicans are racist and do want slavery. So good stuff.
In a publicity stunt on the White House lawn, Trump pretended to buy a Tesla from Elon Musk. Of course, we all know he wasn't pretending because, much like his dealings with contractors and attorneys, no money changed hands. White House press secretary.
That one actually, there is something you could make that into a joke. He just never knows how to end it. Like the punchline doesn't end in the right spot.
Yeah.
We already all know what the joke is, and he's still going.
Where's Pat Oates when you need him?
Right. Just need to rewrite that one a little bit.
I definitely have a similar quality about sticking the landing, but it's fun to see how the people, anybody laughing or making a comment completely throws him off. Like he needs all of his concentration to get through this, and anything happening is a distraction and kind of makes him angry.
Not used to hearing laughs after he.
Right. What the hell was that?
I think you're right. And his first instinct is like something's happening. It's not good.
It's funny you say that, Adam. I don't know where it is in here, but I was listening to this earlier, and he gets really messed up by the panel coming up here.
No money changed hands. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said that God blessed her with the job of press secretary. I think God is waiting to see if she should be drowned in the next incarnation of the Great Flood.
What?
I don't even get that.
God is waiting to see
Yeah.
if she should be drowned.
Mm-hmm. Are we moving too fast for you?
Incarnation?
Yeah. Floods have incarnations. Keep up.
You know the Bible's cyclical. It happens every 20,000 years.
Right.
Oh, okay, sure.
Oh my God.
They say comedy is rhythm and music, and his song is.
There's an ISO.
Climate scientists will happen in 3 weeks.
Oh, that was a tag. Climate scientists say that will happen in 3 weeks. Good stuff.
Elon Musk's Doge agency is now making cuts to Social Security. Thankfully, we have someone speaking out on behalf of Social Security recipients. Unfortunately, it fell to the task of its most recent commissioner, Martin O'Malley. It's hard to get hopeful about Social Security being saved when it's being defended by Martin O'Malley, who, from his time as the governor of Maryland, could put people to sleep reading an erotic novel.
That was a lot of information we had to get through to get to that joke. All right. I'm sure that that guy's really boring, though, Tom. Good stuff.
Good stuff. On his Fox show, Jesse Waters was watching a video of
Doug Emhoff and Kamala Harris going grocery shopping and wondered what kind of husband goes grocery shopping with his wife. This is par for the course for Jesse Waters, as any opportunity his wife has to not spend any time around her husband, she takes it.
God, the reactions from the panel who have to be like, yeah, okay, that's pretty good.
There's so many better ways to word that joke.
Yep. It's wouldn't be funny anyway. And Tom sees everything through this thing that like Jesse Waters bad, so his wife hates him. And it's like, that's the joke.
Yeah.
Like, all right, do you want to go a little deeper than that? Nope, that's the joke. Okay, cool.
Jesse Waters is basically a dildo who was lucky enough to get his own TV show.
Basically a dildo. Okay. Maybe his wife likes dildos. You ever think of that?
What's a wife?
Jesse Waters gives out an air of someone who only gets laid when his wife pegs him. In international news, there are protests.
I always love when Tom does sex jokes.
Yeah.
I know.
He's a 40-year-old virgin, and he's just like, this guy's not even getting laid. Like,
don't go there.
And he has that air of guys like us who are getting laid all the time. We can laugh at guys like that, huh?
Yeah.
Guys like us. And I thought it's so annoying because they're not jokes. They're just political statements. And the laughter isn't laughter because it's funny. It's laughter to acknowledge the statement that you made and support it. Like this is a church sermon or something. But then to hear him, like, what is he upset? So now getting pegged is we shame that. That's not okay. But you're the liberal Democrat and the Republican. What are you saying? So what if Jesse Waters wants to get pegged? If that's revealed, what's going to happen next? It'll be funny.
When Jesse Waters gets pegged, it's embarrassing. But when Dylan Mulvaney does it, it's fucking great.
I guess so, yeah.
Good for her.
I mean...
No, it's a great point. You're like, yeah, you know, Jesse Waters, that guy I don't like, who's a dildo. Also, he's gay.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty good political commentary there, Tom.
And he likes, being a dildo for women, but then he I don't know, it sounds like a full day. It sounds like he's doing what he likes and he's having fun. It doesn't really bother me all
right.
In international news, there are protests in Serbia against their government, which is pro-Vladimir Putin and pro-Donald Trump. Donald Trump Jr. said that the protests were fake and that they were not genuine. This is from the guy who is engaged to Kimberly Guilfoyle, who looked like she had so much plastic surgery that her face was 100% plastic.
Whoa.
And now...
Just the name Kimberly Guilfoyle, the one where it was like, that must be the punchline, right? Oh, fuck.
Yeah. They almost saved him.
The punchline is. That's where you stop. That's the joke part of it. And then to tag on all that nonsense on the end of that.
She's had so much plastic surgery. How much plastic surgery? So much that her face is all plastic.
Looks plastic.
Yeah.
When your 4-year-old kid comes into the room and is like, you ate so many carrots, you're going to turn into a carrot. You're like, that's not funny. I support everything you do, but shut up. That's not funny.
Yeah.
Do better.
People don't like carrot jokes, huh?
Yeah.
You're not getting bullied enough at daycare. I'm bringing you somewhere else.
Yeah. Who craft something.
All right, hold on. I got to hear that again.
Yeah.
said that the protests were fake and that they were not genuine. This is from the guy who is engaged to Kimberly Guilfoyle, who looked like she had so much plastic surgery that her face was 100% plastic. And now, on with the show.
All right, yeah, let's stop all this fun and get into the serious political talk now, Tom.
And away we go.
Now that you're all warmed up.
It sounded like the one panelist was reading over his shoulder, and he's like,
Yeah.
don't do it, man. Don't do
that one.
When they laugh at Kimberly Guilfoyle, you can see him reading it, and they laugh, and he just shoots them a look like,
I got more.
Finish this.
There's more to this.
And I can't finish this unless you shut the fuck
joke.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked about it before, but I go back to the beginning with this Tom Myers versus the rest of the world. And at first, the panel didn't know what to do with this monologue. It'd be better if he just recorded it separately and then brought on his guests and started the show. Because they have to sit there uncomfortably. And then, there's only 3 people, so they have to, like you were saying, acknowledge it and kind of laugh. And at first, it was just silence. And now they know that they're supposed to laugh, but they don't know why anything's funny. So they really have to
for good reason.
They really have to try to figure out Do I acknowledge the joke now or?
Yeah, they obviously don't know where the punchline is. I mean, these people, they're stupid.
Well, it's also it's very difficult to decipher what Tom thinks is the punchline.
Exactly.
From time to time, it can be difficult. All right, let's get into our buddy Greg.
Ba, 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 ba.
Patrick Melton just started covering Opie the other day, and I was watching him. And it's always good to get a different perspective on things because we've gotten pretty close to the sun on this one. And he was talking about all of these voices that Opie does. Opie's never figured out what his own personality is. And that's why he's always doing these different characters. And what reminded me of that is even that intro song, which was played on his podcast back when he was Westwood One, Brother Man was stolen from Brother Weeze.
Yeah.
And he just took that as his own. And now that's his thing. And Cheers, he stopped doing that. Did you notice that?
Yeah, yeah.
People were calling him out on the Ron Bennington thing. Just
That was Ron
Bennington.
The moment he admitted to it, he stopped doing it.
He stopped doing it. And his voices and everything he does, he's another guy who like has no identity. He doesn't know who he is.
Well, most things he does everything he does is taken from something, and he doesn't even know it most of the time. His take whenever I hear him go, "The future," that's me.
Yep.
That was my shit where I talk about, oh, goodness gracious, look at this, an aeroplane. We're winging into the future. And he does that. He does, there's quite a few things of mine that I used to do on the O&A show that he just grabbed and does like it's, and then talks about how awful I am and was.
Right, yes.
And he's using my shit.
All right. Well, this is the big news of the week. E-Rock was on Chrissy Mayer's show and talking about how he has all of the old Opie and Anthony episodes archived on hard drives. And someone asks Opie about that in this chat, of course.
Richulo, is it true that you asked E-Rock for the O&A archive, but he refuses to give it to you until you grow up like an adult and talk to him? Yeah, I guess he could keep the O&A archives. I'm not playing his stupid game. I think if I'm to believe the internet, which is crazy, I get it. Supposedly, if I become a human being, then I could get my life's work back.
This is the longest fake laugh ever.
Oh my God.
That's the longest fake laugh I've seen him do. That's impressive.
All he does is believe the internet. What is he talking about? Every comment that comes up concerning me from obvious trolls that tell him what money I'm making at ABC and all that, he takes it as gospel and goes off on it on some tirade. So yeah, Ope, you believe all that nonsense.
Opie's Anthony's trashing right now. Oh, is he? He's trashing me again. He's a piece of garbage.
Let me tell you about Anthony.
I know some things about him. He doesn't want to get out. He doesn't want getting out. So he does. He pulls that shit on my clip package today.
Yeah.
If you want to know the truth.
If you want to know the truth.
Oh, I love that one. If you want to know the truth. Look at his Blair Witch fucking video quality, too. It's 2025. You could have HD video at $10.
I know. It would not be difficult to get a better camera, but the duct tape is already stuck on this one. You'd have to pull it off and get the goo gun.
Self-tapes, when you make any kind of video for broadcast, the first thing you're always told is do not shoot in front of an open window.
Right.
That's just not what we do. And I got to tell you something. If anybody just saw him say this and read that, they would not be on his side. You don't need any context. So I'm hassling, or I'm talking to this person, I'm sending them messages about something I want, and they say to me, you'll get what you want when you start talking to me like a real human being and acting like a human. Anybody who hears that is going to go, you're at fault, buddy. They're right. Like, if that's what they're asking of you, then you're not doing it. And to respond to that by laughing into the sky and not acknowledging it is, in fact, inhuman and proving their point.
Yes. It's well said, because this continues for a while.
Yeah, are you guys getting it yet? Are you guys getting it yet? Hear me out. I need to be a human being and then I can get my life's work back.
Adam, he's doing the whole "who's with me?" Are you guys seeing how crazy this is? I mean, who's with me? And everyone's just like, no. I think it's pretty reasonable.
First of all, stop poking your finger into his face, hands at your sides. That's not a healthy way to have a conversation, Opie.
Right.
And it's kind of what we were talking about before, getting his life's work back. He's already gotten millions of views on videos from our radio show. Yes. Did I see a penny of it? Did Jim Norton see a penny of it? No. So what's this my life's work? You've used it already. You've gotten millions of hits. You've made money off of your YouTube channel because you post shit that is actually the property of Sirius XM Satellite Radio, WNEW, CBS Radio, Viacom, all these places that have a legal right to this material. He's been putting them up. He's been making money. He hasn't shared it with anyone else who had a lot more to do with the resulting video than he ever did. So what is he talking about? His life's work. Please.
Yeah, and he's going to get into it now. I watched Eric when he was talking about this.
Yeah,
he actually told Opie, hey, we can buy all of our archives. We can buy the rights to them for a pretty low rate. Do you think we should do that? And Opie said, we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
So he gave him a chance to own all this shit, and Opie said no. So Eric now has it, and we'll get into that. I have the clip of what Eric was saying, but real quick, he decides to deflect now, because you can tell he already doesn't know how to respond to this. He already has said nothing. He's just laughed like, oh, my life's work. Okay, I got to be a human. And so now he's going to say how much he's worked on himself. This drives me crazy right here.
I sit here sometimes and I want understanding. I really do. I want to take responsibility for my part in the whole craziness of the Opie and Anthony world.
Good start.
I have gone to therapy. I've looked deep into myself.
Good.
I still got things to figure out.
Right.
I'm a work in progress.
But
E-Rock, if it's true, said I need to become a human being and then I could get my life's work back. This is coming from a guy that worked for a monster. Are you going to make believe you didn't know all the crazy shit that Anthony does that kind of doesn't make him look like a human being?
So this made me more endearing to people.
This is a deflection. Opie, and this is what's so crazy about Opie. He must know how stupid this sounds. To say, I'm working on myself, I'm going to therapy, and by the way, E-Rock's not a good guy because he worked for Anthony, and Anthony's a jerk, and I don't like him, and so that means that he's also a bad guy too. It's like no therapist would tell you that that's the solution to your problems.
That's healthy. First of all, I'm the monster. I have a great relationship with everyone aside from one or two people over the course of 30 years in the radio business with Opie, 20, but the last 10 years being on my own. I still have great relationships. I talk to them on regular basis. One of my best friends is Jim Norton, who we did the show with, obviously. Garrett from the NEW days up until Compound Media, and now still with Garrett and Steve doing a show. I love that. Everyone I've worked with at Compound Media, less, the guy that was stealing shit. But he has nobody. No one wants to have a relationship with this guy after you've worked with him.
That's because he was the boss. He didn't want to be the boss.
Because I go to the Atlantic City with some girl and gamble $30,000 on one hand of blackjack. Yeah, it was crazy. Oh, Anthony did crazy stuff. Yeah, fun as fuck, let me tell you. And yeah, I definitely tore it up and made some mistakes, as we all do, whatever. But monster? I'm a monster?
I'll just say this, and everyone says I'm an Anthony ball washer, so it doesn't matter at this point.
Of course.
But I know pretty well over a half dozen people who worked for you at Compound. Yeah. I've talked to them a ton. We've done shows and stuff like that. None of them have a bad thing to say about working for Anthony and working for Compound, even though everyone wanted them. They got invited onto every show to dish dirt and talk all this shit.
Yep.
None of them took the bait because working for Anthony is not working for a monster. You're actually
I'm doing
a pretty cool boss,
Chrissy's
it seems
show.
like.
When I go up to New York that Friday, I do Sid Rosenberg's show on WABC in the morning. And then that night, I'm going to Chrissy's new studio and doing her show. Yeah, I still have relationships with these people. We still like each other and enjoy each other's company. Name one fucking person that we've ever worked with. I talked to people from BAB when Opie was on BAB in the early to mid 90s that have shit to say. They shit talk Opie.
Yep.
There's not one former employee that can stand this fucking guy. But, I'm the monster. E-Rock's an idiot for seeing Opie as inhuman and not me. So, again, projecting and throwing shit away.
And the other thing that Opie does that drives me crazy, I think I have more examples coming up, is he can just be so vague about things.
Yes, it's
so
all
rather
vague.
than a specific accusation,
right?
Well, Eric's bad because he worked for Anthony, and Anthony's a monster. Like, what?
It's fabrication.
Point it out. Give me
Give
me an example.
But it's the best because whenever Opie gets something wrong or doesn't nail it, he is a work in progress.
Yes.
If you have too much fun in Vegas, you're a monster. And E-Rock is an idiot. And the worst thing you could do is call me inhuman, but you're a monster for undefined reasons. And by the way, the reason Anthony's not so precious about his life's work is because his life isn't over, Opie.
Right, still doing
He's
it.
still making work.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about getting the O&A material. First of all, anything worth listening to is already online and has been for decades. What, you want the Greg Brady interview that we did? Yeah, that's probably on tape somewhere. You could probably still find that online. But there are, the rest of it, who needs it? Well, I don't care. I've moved on with my life and my show. I see potential every day for new material. This guy's trying to get 30-year-old material to pop up on his YouTube.
It's what does the best for him, and he has no problem stealing it anyway.
True.
But after calling you a monster, listen to this.
How does that work in your head? That I need to become a human being to get my life's work back. But you literally work for Anthony, who doesn't really show signs of being a human being at times. How does that work in your head? For real. I'd
You
like
hired
to
him.
know.
You hired him. It was your idea.
And I'm not even, I know this is going to be confusing to people, but I'm not even taking a shot at Anthony.
No.
I mean, it is what it
I'm
is.
not a human.
That is confusing. That's confusing to me. I thought you called him a monster.
I respect monsters.
He calls me a monster, yet he's not trashing me.
Nope.
And then he cries that I'm trashing him when I literally say, get a better camera, get a better mic, prep for your show, listen to your guests, stop looking at the chat. All these things are just suggestions to do a better show. He sees that as me trashing him, yet he calls me inhuman and a monster, but I'm not trashing him. All right.
I guess that makes it true. I guess you can say whatever you want about someone, just be like, and by the way, that's not trashing him. Oh, okay,
right.
Cool. Sounds good.
And still, Opie is here trying to defend his right to not be a human being. Like, he's defending this. Like, it's a noble point.
And remember, this has nothing to do with Anthony. Nope. He brought up Anthony on this and continues to go on about that as he does here.
Anthony has chosen to live his life in an insanely crazy way.
Okay. Are you living a crazy life down there in South Carolina, Anthony?
By the way, I am so fucking chill now and have been for a pretty long time now. During the days of the Roslyn Heights house parties and stuff, and after I broke up with a girlfriend of 9 years, it was fucking nuts for a few years there. Time of my life, had a great time, but like he's talking that I'm going nuts every day. I do my show from my house. Me and Missy go into Greenville, South Carolina, have some dinner, a couple of glasses of wine. I'm back home. I'm watching TV. I'm a madman. Maybe it's my crazy, wacky glasses.
Whoa. Calm down, Anthony.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this guy.
Going after your lifestyle at this point is ridiculous. Like you own, you bought a house with that's on a bunch of land. And you just,
Ooh, look out.
He says he's apolitical. He says he's not a Democrat or a liberal, but what somebody does alone in their house at night bothers him. And he feels the right to judge, and it makes you a monster.
All right, let's take a look at what Eric said, since Opie won't look it up. He just heard about it from the internet.
Yeah.
Maybe we can put some context to this.
They're preserved. He goes back to Opie. There was a clip where he's saying, it's like, oh, I stole all this stuff from him. It's like, I begged you for years to buy the thing, have the ownership, take the copies. Wouldn't do it. Now, 10 plus years later,
he wants the clips
he
for
wants them
YouTube.
for YouTube. He's expecting just to hand stuff over. I got a text from him at one point, and he's like, just send me what you think I deserve, what you think is mine, or something like that.
Wow.
I sent him a few things that were pre-NEW stuff, and that was all I gave him. It's like, well, fuck you, dude. You don't want to talk. You don't want to be a human being. Why am I going to help you?
Maybe.
You don't want to talk. You don't want to be a human being. Why should I be nice to you? Because the very passive aggressive. All right, so just send me what you think I should own them.
Yeah.
Like, what a dick.
Put the onus on Iraq. And if you take the context of that, like, you didn't talk to me. You don't talk to me about this. You know, when you can be a human being, that isn't like you're not human. You're inhuman. It's like human beings discuss this and talk about it and say, hey, here's why I want this. And whatever the debate would be between him and Iraq, the phrase be a human being is kind of not literal in that.
Opie's twisting this to make it look like it's something, and it's nothing.
Iraq is saying, grow up here and be a fucking man.
Right. Talk to me.
And also, I don't think he said your life's work.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. He never said that.
Iraq told us on this show a couple of times how he tried to keep a relationship with Greg, reached out to him a few times, tried to meet up with him, and Opie's never wanted anything to do with him. Now all of a sudden Opie wants something, and Eric's the bad guy.
Of course.
Isn't Chrissy great for putting some plants for Iraq to graze on during the show?
That is nice.
Very nice of her.
I remember when you had that next to your swimming pool on Long Island.
Yes.
Your Iraq statue.
Yes.
I also like to see how Opie and Stuttering John, they both never are aware of the reality of the show they're doing at the time. Like, he keeps talking about these things and saying how he's not going to talk to Iraq, and I'm grown up, I'm a human being. Then why are you talking alone in your room to your invisible friend? Like, why don't you just be a human being and call him up? You're so brave from the safety of your home alone when we can't see your face. Now you're talking to him with no problem. You won't shut up about it. The guy wants to talk on the phone, and now you're a child.
This conversation you're having with no one right now could be had with someone if you wanted to. Might be more
and we would like to
productive.
see it. Everyone would like to see it. That would
There
be
you
the
go.
beginning of a fucking show. Because
Right.
you won't do it, we're here doing it for you. And imagining what you'd say, and it's never as insane as what you actually would. So why are you pretending to be so deeply involved while unaware at the same time of everything going on in your life?
Mm-hmm. All right, so he went after Anthony for a little while, just as a side. Now it's back to Eric. And I'm interested to hear what Anthony thinks about this.
I guess, when you were crying at work and I was the one there to talk to you and actually give you a hug. Ooh, maybe I got to go back to doing that. And then maybe I could get my life's work back.
Yeah, I don't think touching people is going to help, Opie. I don't think that's the change you need, is to start going around touching people.
So can you believe that? Now he's saying that Eric was crying at work and Opie was the only one there to comfort him.
Opie will make shit up in his head and absolutely 100% believe it. I've seen this over the years where he'll call someone out about something and we all know it never happened, but he has it in his head and it is mutated into a reality. It actually happened. He now reacts to the person like it happened. He talks about it like it actually happened. It's fucking psychotic. I've seen him do this. The Dice thing, Andrew Dice Clay on Howard Stern. And he goes, yeah, he was making jokes about my dad when my dad got in a car accident. And it never happened.
It never happened. I've tried to find it up because he brings it up all the time. I listen. I'm like, that's not what they talked about at all. They're talking about cow.
Yeah, they weren't even talking about Opie. He has this unbelievable sense of self-worth, grandiose.
Revisionist history.
They're talking about him like in code. Yeah. Like the mental patients that listen to the radio and go, okay, yeah, they're talking to me.
Yeah.
He must know somewhere, because underneath, if he really could call up E-Rock and be like, buddy, do you remember that day you were crying and I held you? Like, if he could actually bridge that gap, he would. He must know it's made up, and that's why he's talking to a screen.
Just like that scene with Meatloaf in Fight Club.
Right. It reminds me of Stuttering John with the Carl posted my book on his Patreon thing.
Yes.
It's like if he says it enough times, he's convinced himself. I'm convinced he's convinced himself that this really happened. And I'm sure Opie thinks that this really happened. Do you remember Eric crying at work? Because it seemed like Eric had a pretty thick skin with how much you guys dragged him on that show.
Does. But do you know why he's fabricating this fake story?
Why is that?
To prove that he's a human being.
Yes. All of a sudden, I was the one.
This is his childish way.
You're right. And E-Rock walked on the beach and just saw one set of footprints.
They do that in interrogations when they're talking to a suspect, and they're like, if your wife was really missing, you haven't cried once. We've been here 3 hours. What do? Immediately, tears start coming.
Yep.
They're showing you that they can cry. Not like, wow, that's even more evil than when you were just cold. Him trying to show us what a human he is now, alone in his room, is just some scary stuff.
Talking about the wife in past tense when it's just a missing person.
I
love that shit, man.
So now he's just going to sarcastically chat with Eric directly on his show.
E-Rock, if you're watching, and I know you do, I will try to become a human being. I'm going to try just for you. So I could get my life's work back.
Doing a great job.
Call your old boss. That's how you get your life's work back. Call the company that still and forever has the rights to that stuff. What is he talking to E-Rock? E-Rock has tapes of everything.
Right. E-Rock
There's no legal right.
He smuggled it out, but he doesn't own it. Right. Yeah. Good point.
Our agent, Abonanim, Bob Eatman, the late Bob Eatman, many years ago after the NEW thing and we got on Sirius, he talked to people over at CBS Radio at the time, whatever it was, Viacom, and said, how much for the rights to everything? And they made an offer like a couple $100,000. It wasn't all that much, comparably speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And Opie was just like, no. And I was like, no, I didn't give a shit.
Right.
Why do I need fucking shit we did years ago? We're making new material every fucking day. But he never wanted to do that. But now somehow he thinks E-Rock is preventing him from having what is rightfully his life's work.
And it's interesting when Eric tells the story about who owns the rights to it, because movie studio reached out to request audio for a movie they were making, and no one claimed to have ownership of the old Opie and Anthony archives. So they're like, I guess you can just use it. Here you go. So
it's like public domain now, like the Hindenburg crash.
Yeah, it's like all these radio stations have been wiped out. None of the people who worked there even know Opie and Anthony were on the station.
Yeah.
And Sirius XM, they've moved on from Howard already. Like, they have moved on. They got other shit going on. Yeah. They're trying to get their podcast wing set up, which, by the way, I'm going to prove that Opie knows nothing about Sirius XM, as now we get into Sam Roberts.
Wait, let me ask you one question really fast. Anthony, what is this thing where they all have a delusion that everyone they've ever met and worked with is watching their show at all times? Where does that come from? What is that?
I know you're watching.
It's odd, too, because there's also this juxtaposition where he will say he never watches anything.
Yes.
He don't watch Carl. He don't watch me. He doesn't watch Shuli. He doesn't watch anything. E-Rock on Chrissy's show. Never. But he assumes everyone is watching his show. It's the classic narcissist.
Yes.
Wow. It's classic.
And it's funny because back in the day, you got one chance to watch or hear something, and then it was gone. And so most people didn't watch it, but guys like Opie assumed that they did. Now there's clippers who are putting out the best parts anyway. So yeah, I'm sure Eric has seen this.
Yeah. Oh,
but
Eric's
it's only like in the last 6 or 12 months that everything's getting clipped and put up on YouTube.
Oh, I know E-Rock saw this because me and him text each other because I'm a human being.
Yes, right. So your drunk uncle gives him $20 and says, Sam and the boys gave Anthony a trouncing in the ratings. Who knew that a washed up racist woman biter wouldn't be as popular as Sam Roberts? Okay.
This is a troll.
Yes.
It's so obvious. Like he's trying to get Opie to talk about me, but also hate on Sam. This guy is, he got 2 people in this troll post.
Correct.
$20
because there is no ratings battle between you and Sam Roberts. It's not the same medium. It's not the same day part. It's not the same anything.
The shit he suggests here about Sam is fucking atrocious.
Oh, you've seen this already.
Oh, I've seen it all. I don't see. I'm not the guy that says I don't watch. Like I say, I always say I watch everything. I watch you guys. I watch Opie. I watch Scorch, Shuley, John. Kevin Brennan, all of them. What else am I doing with my day? Having crazy times like Opie thinks?
The one person none of us are watching is Chad Zumock.
I'm
the same way. I try to be tuned in on everything. I can't watch a second of Chad's show. It's so bad.
I've tried. I've actually tried, and I start watching, and I'm just like, it's not even like, oh, it's so bad or fucking him, fucking I hate him or anything. Right. It's just boring as fuck.
It's just nothing. It's just nothing.
Not even funny boring like Opie or anything.
You're watching a guy twiddle his thumbs as he hits buttons on his
play sound effects
roadcaster.
completely out of context.
It's great. It's crazy. So yeah, he goes pretty hard at Sam here.
Oof. Yeah.
No one's talking about Sam. I mean, he got exactly what he wanted. He suffered through Jim Norton because he never
talking
liked
about
Jim
him right
Norton.
now. Sorry. No one's talking about Sam. So back to Sam.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like this is the easy pass to my own career at Sirius. He didn't realize it was going to last so long with Jimmy. He was hoping.
It's amazing what he knows about Sam Roberts and what Sam has been thinking about his career, even though Opie hasn't worked with Sam in over 10 years. But he knows that Sam wanted to get that morning show, but then he had to wait out Jim Norton in order to get the show without Jim on there because they don't like each other. He's got it all figured out.
He's projecting again. Yes. This is Opie after I got fired. And he's like, Opie thought, oh, this is great. Now, finally, my chance to show my chops, my radio chops, and how awesome I am without this fucking Anthony guy. And he failed miserably. So he's trying to project, like, obviously, Sam and Jimmy didn't get along. And Sam was just sitting going, haha, oh, I can't wait till that Anthony guy. Oh, I mean, Jimmy is gone. So I could show how awesome I am.
This is psychotic. This is to think that you know what Sam was thinking in the process he went through. And you're right. It's all projection. This is all the story of Opie is what he's saying right here. And it didn't work out for him. It did work out for Sam, which is very funny. But just to be able to think that you know people's motivations and he didn't think that Jim was going to be there on that long, but he still had to wait it out. It's like, how do you know? Okay, let's say that he knows Sam didn't like Jim back when they all worked together. How does he know that when it became the Jim and Sam show, that they didn't get along famously? And then
even if they didn't like each other.
Right.
Yeah. It would have, maybe they patched things up. They go, hey, like adults, like human beings.
Right.
They sat down and said, hey, this is us now. We got a show. If we did have any differences, let's put them aside. I could absolutely see them doing that if there even was a problem in the first place, which I don't believe there was. Maybe they're not of the same mindset. I think it was an awkward fit together for them.
Sure.
I think all of us together, Opie, Anthony, Jimmy, Sam, E-Rock, Travis, I think it made for a great combination. And Sam and Jimmy are very different people. And I don't think it worked as well as it could have with 2 other people, let's say. But to say they didn't like each other, I didn't see that at all.
But this is him soothing himself.
Right.
He's telling the story where they hated each other.
And salve all over his body.
Yes. They've been suffering through this morning show ever since I left.
But that would be quick. He had to suffer with Jim Norton because, look, I hung out with Sam Roberts. He's been in this house He went on vacation with us on my dime. Never.
What a dick.
Please.
What a dick to say.
What
He
an
had to throw
asshole.
in on my dime.
And I gave him a hug.
Yeah, it's just like generous people don't fucking keep score of shit like that.
Paid for a thing. And then he became Judas. And then he,
By the way,
he
if I
made
could step in here,
please.
Is Stuttering John. He's doing the Stuttering John thing. John loves talking about how he like just spent and paid for everything when he talks about going out with people.
And then they turned on me. You know,
And they
that's the
turned
story
on
of
me.
John. Yes.
They are fucking mirror images of each other.
They really are.
It's amazing.
He made a pact with Jim Norton. I knew those guys were going to stab me in the back. I don't know if I've ever told this story. So,
all right. I don't believe I've heard this story he's about to tell. I thought I was going to hear something I've heard before. But we all know the story of this, that Opie went on vacation for a month right before the contract negotiations. And he wasn't even in the building. And they're like, all right, do you guys want to take over the morning show? They're like, sure.
He played a hand with no fucking cards. He just had no cards. And he goes, yeah, well, fuck you. Watch what I do. I'm going to leave for the entire summer. I legitimately have vacation time. I'm going to take it all at once. And you won't see me again for 3 fucking months. And he just expected Sirius to go, oh, boy. Oh, what day is it? Is Opie back yet? Jesus. No, they said, all right, Jim, Sam, step up. You got the helm. And this is them stabbing Opie in the back.
Right. It's his own doing.
He's got no sense of self-realization. Yet he knows what everyone else was thinking.
Right.
But he's completely unable to assess himself and what he's doing.
The idea that he would be responsible for his own behavior, that someone would have a conversation with him and decide based on that conversation that they don't like him is not an option. It will never occur to him. So just like John, anyone that doesn't like him is part of a massive conspiracy theory by big racism that's there to keep him down and keep everything floating. It's incredible. He wouldn't even think about it.
we were really close with Sam and his wife. And my wife and Sam's wife were very close, very close. And one day, just minding my own business in my apartment in New York City, 500 feet above the streets of New York City.
Another Stuttering John parallel.
Sam's wife would come.
He has to throw in that brag, which completely unnecessary to the story. Like,
which I pay
bought
for
my
my
mansion.
dime.
Yep. In Calabasas, my mansion, $2
Yep.
million.
Can't afford off-street parking, but it is a really nice view you have there, Opie.
I'm Greg Hughes. I own a mansion and a yacht.
Right.
Sam's wife would come by and cry about all sorts of things she thought was going on. The dirt I got. Trust me, I hold back.
Again, this is Opie's. His MO. He always goes to this car. He's just like, I know shit that if I told you guys, it would ruin this guy.
Yeah.
Just fucking tell us, or keep it to yourself. Do one or the other.
Keep it to yourself. This is a betrayal right here. Yes. Regardless of how you feel about Sam, and again, stabbed me in the back. Yeah, you took 3 months off. They needed to do a show. They needed to put a show in there. They couldn't find the best of Opie. It doesn't exist. They needed actual breathing people. So if this is even true, which again, I don't believe anything this fucker says.
No.
He might even believe this happened, but whatever. There's a confidence there between friends. His wife and Sam's wife, and I know they were very good, close friends. And she confides in Opie's wife about something, and Opie just puts it out here like this and alluding to what? A cheating thing. That's what he's alluding to.
Yes.
And what a scumbag fucking move this is.
But she would cry because of some of the things that she thought was going on.
What, wrestling?
I don't know.
Yeah, what, his hairline?
She didn't know John Cena was going to do a fucking face turn and become a bad guy. She
saw the script at a time.
Yeah,
What does any of it have to do with you, Opie? What does any of this stuff we're even talking about have to do with
That's
it?
what I'm wondering.
Oh yeah.
Somehow this makes him look good.
We've gotten pretty far away from where we started, haven't we?
Holy shit.
I don't know. But one day Sam's wife comes to our apartment, and she comes in,
and she's
nude. She's in tears. She's in tears. She's crying, and she's talking to my wife. And it's like she's just trying to say how much she loves my wife and appreciates the friendship. And then
there's so much crying going on around Greg in his adult
Lot
life.
of crying.
I can't tell you 3 stories I've had. I can remember people crying around me. It's weird.
Right? Yeah. And are you hugging other men when they're crying?
No.
Look, I like to think I'm a pretty open-minded guy and I have a confidence in my own masculinity. But hugging a crying man,
maybe at a wake, not at work,
Not at work. Yes, at work.
He's also someone who doesn't like to reveal much about his personal life. He doesn't I don't know much about his kids. I don't know much about his wife. He chooses to keep them, but anyone else's wife or girlfriend who's crying or having personal marital issues, well, now we can talk about it on air and use it to define them and make fun of them. That's all fair game. I don't know your fucking dog's name, but we can talk about people's wives crying over infidelity late at night at your house. What does that have to do with why you can't do radio?
Perfect, Adam. Yes. That's what the fuck he
I don't
does.
know. Lasted maybe a half hour, and then she leaves. She leaves. Never to be seen again.
You kill her?
She knew her husband was about to stab me in the back with Jim Norton, and she was saying goodbye.
He knew. See,
She
this
didn't
is
agree
fucked
with
up.
it.
Yeah.
He says
again, he knows all the motivation. He understands
Right.
everything that's going on in the mind of other people.
The wife comes over and cries to Opie's wife because she knows that Sam is going to stab him in the back and the friendship is over. So Sam at one point must have gotten his wife there and gone, honey, I'm going to stab Opie in the back here. So
It's
go
like
over.
a Shakespeare play.
Make your peace with his wife.
Yeah.
Because it's over after this happens. Today, after the baptism, I take care of all family business. It's retarded. How does he know this? He plays fantasies out in his head and they become gospel.
So that story got 2 things taken care of. One, it proves that Sam was conspiring against Opie in the background, and even his wife didn't even want him to do it, but Sam is so powerful, he still was able to destroy the friendship that his wife had with Opie's wife. And also to say that, like, oh, Sam was cheating on his wife, and maybe if I plant that seed, I can cause some strife for Sam current day. Right? I assume they're still married, Sam and his wife?
Oh, yeah.
With
Married
kids and everything.
kids.
Yeah. So great, Opie. Really good stuff to fucking bring up. You're a true pal.
This is what they do when comedy is not an option. John is the same way. They
You're right.
don't have jokes, and they
mirroring.
think
Yeah.
their impulsivity and their lack of self-control is their talent, because that won so many moments in the past where they did the impulsive thing. Now he's got nothing to offer.
And just like John, they'll go to try to ruin your life. Like John tried to get Anthony's gig canceled at WABC just recently. We talked about that. He's going after Sam. But meanwhile, when we go on a show and we go, Opie, you got to do a better job with how you're centering yourself.
He's a work in progress, Carl.
Yes.
God, you're so
We're trashing him.
God.
It's like I don't have satire and parody, so I'm just going to go to libel and slander.
Yeah, that's
it's just as good, right?
Perfect.
He's looking at the homeless guy. He sees the cake. He knows there's like a political cartoon in here somewhere about class and hunger, and I'll just smash the cake. That's the joke. I'll just smash it.
I'm
and that's it.
outrageous.
Yeah, something else might have been a funnier move.
All right, here's how Opie doesn't even understand his own business.
He's just there. I mean, he's just there. SiriusXM survives because of Howard Stern.
So he's saying that Sam Roberts, he just signed a contract. He's the host of the morning show.
Yeah.
And Opie's saying he doesn't matter to Sirius.
It survives because of a little bit of Ron Bennington. It survives a little bit because of Andy. It survives a little bit because of Mike. No, not Mike. Just the Mad Dog. Maybe throw a little bonfire in there. And that's it.
That's it?
Sam's he's just rotting in a seat. Nothing impressive there.
What's your evidence for this? There's no ratings for this thing, so we have no idea. All I know, going off of SiriusXM's most recent meeting they had with the stock, the owners of their stock, is that they're really focused on podcasts. Call Her Daddy and Smartless is what they talked about nonstop throughout
He didn't
that
mention
call.
those. Yeah.
And Opie has no clue. He thinks it's still Ron Bennington and Andy Cohen.
Cousin Brucey.
Right, yeah. It's like you have no idea what you're talking about.
Grease
right
Man.
Yeah. Jay over there is really funny. They're dead.
They're not even paying attention to Howard anymore.
Dead, Opie.
They're not even paying attention to what Howard's doing. They don't even give a shit.
No one cares anymore what Howard's doing, really. I mean,
He didn't get brought up
he'll
one
discount
time.
anything as just no big deal. There's nothing. Sam's doing that. He's rotting in the seat. No big deal. I'm not impressed. What the fuck are you doing where you can judge what is impressive or not in other people's lives? Sam is employed by SiriusXM. He does a morning show. He gets paid a salary. What the fuck are you doing to be able to sit there and not be impressed by that? Or, again, I'll bring it back to me, coming back to broadcast radio at WABC. Yeah, not impressive. Call me when, and then some other thing. What are you doing, fucko? You're sitting there at some ungodly hour of the morning trying to talk quiet because your wife and kids don't know that their mental patient husband and father don't know what he's doing out there, and judging everyone that's more successful and more driven and doing a lot more than you are.
And can you imagine a world where Opie gets hired by AM radio and he's like, all right, I got a small little thing, not a big deal. We're not going to make a big deal about it. I am returning to terrestrial radio, but I'm not syndicated yet. Okay, we got syndicated, but we're just taking it slow. I'm not he would be throwing a parade. Yeah, I mean, it'd be all over. You kidding me? You think you downplay it and play it cool and talk about how it's not really a big deal anymore because who listens to radio? I just got a car. They don't even have it in it. So this isn't a big deal, guys.
Right.
This isn't. That'd be his take on it.
That would be his take. It's all different if it's him. Right.
Obviously, you guys have not seen Gebhardt's basement.
I have.
Well, there are some
goddamn
neon
impressive
blue lights there. So,
all right, let's get back to E-Rock. We got to get back to bashing E-Rock again.
I didn't know the show was called.
Does he
Opie,
breach
Anthony,
the
and
water
E-Rock.
behind Opie? Is
But
that
I
where? E-Rock
the
knows
show
I
is
love
called
him. I have
Opie,
to make
Anthony
jokes.
and E-Rock. But I guess I gotta acknowledge that. Do I have cotton candy hair today? No, let's not say F you to E-Rock. We gotta put our kid gloves on. We gotta be very, very nice to E-Rock so I could get my life's work back.
Drink.
I know. This is now his thing where he's acting like E-Rock's being unreasonable.
So you can't say F you to E-Rock. No. What was that character? What movie was that? And believe it or not, the character's name was Anthony, where they didn't want to piss off Anthony. Don't piss off Anthony.
Twilight Zone episode.
That's what we have to do with the E-Rock.
Billy Mummy.
Then maybe my life's work I can get back. So maybe it's in my family where my kids can enjoy it someday. I don't know.
The legacy.
So now it's about his kids.
Oh, he's trying everything.
Passing down the legacy. They'd be his kids, if they have any sense, would listen and go, so this Anthony and Jimmy, these two guys, let me tell you.
His kids are listening to Nope episodes on YouTube.
So that's a wiffle ball bat.
Yeah, what the fuck? You're not fucking Peter Jennings or,
right.
This isn't something you want to show your kids.
Won't somebody please think of the children? E-Rock.
Oh.
Tell us about Wednesdays, Dad.
I bequeath to my children all of my life's work, the tapes of. No kid wants to hear their dad making fucking ass, tits, and pussy jokes.
Hey, Dad, I heard Quentin Tarantino invited you over for movie night. Did you ever take him up on that? We don't talk about that, son. I'd prefer not to.
But you did barge in on Barry Williams for dinner.
That's right.
Oh, I love that one.
Even what's happening here is just so embarrassing. He really sounds like somebody who just got dumped, who is not processing what was said, so he has to just keep repeating it over and over. He keeps saying it. I'm not human. All I got. So I'm ugly and you're leaving me. Okay, all right. So I'm
my
ugly.
penis is too small and it doesn't work very
It's
well.
gonna sink in eventually.
That's the fucked up thing too, Adam. Is he's taking the bitch side of being broken up with.
Yep.
Like this is the girl's reaction when a couple breaks up. You don't talk about things like guys don't talk like this. They don't betray confidences. They don't shit on each other just to make yourself look better. He's a terrible man. He's not good at being a man.
Yeah.
And what's so interesting is that, like, Anthony and I, we grew up in the same place. My parents are from the Bronx. They were teachers in Queens. They moved to Long Island. We both started young. We both forced our way onto the Howard Stern show by sheer will.
That's right.
Both have gone on and had careers in this business, and our ideology, our way of looking at things ended up so different. So different.
Right.
But there are things we can agree on without even talking. And it's that Opie is a piece of shit. And that Stuttering John is a terrible person. And it is happening out there on Dabblers Anonymous, on all of these subreddits where people from all over the world with different beliefs can agree that not only are these people pieces of shit, but that guys like John, they're using these values and these symbols as pawns in their stupid little war that they're losing.
And they were two Long Island guys from middle-class families. It's again, it's so weird that you could come from the same background. I guess it's the nature nurture thing. Opie's obviously had some problems during his youth and over the course of the years with mental illness in his family. I'm not even going to go as far as he went with Sam, as far as smearing somebody.
Right.
But it's just is weird that you could all have this same common background and turn out so differently.
And still somehow politics shift and change, and they're always evolving. But like what you think of as a human being, what you think of as a person, like that, we just instinctually can tell from all of these different people, everyone we've seen today and all the ones we continue to see on WATP, that there's a quality they share that brings so many different people together in the, we don't like that, and that is actual racism. That is
an anomaly.
Evil. Yeah.
They are an anomaly.
And we're all coming together at Hackamania, Las Vegas. All the like-minded people. Go to hackamania.com, promo code WATP. Hang out with us in Vegas.
What can't marketers do?
Now Opie, did I tell you I used to be in marketing? Now Opie takes a shot at us, which I'm like,
whoa,
Opie.
I love how other podcasts dislike you, but you're still the prime focus of their content. Goes to show you, no hope, no hope, peace precious. I like that.
It's another troll.
Well, the deal is
it's a troll.
I think it's a curse that
no
anyone
hope,
could
no
live
hope.
stream.
He's even creating taglines for Opie. It's hilarious.
No hope, no hope. They're fucking trolls. Even if they say good things, it's just so he reads them and can then start rolling on something.
Yep, it works every time too.
Works every time. This guy is so
I think it's a
predictable.
curse that anyone could live stream and podcast now because there's a lot of crap out there. And if you're not putting yourself in front of a camera and trying to like just talk about shit going on in your life, shit going on in the world, hopefully trying to be funny, get a few laughs out there. If you're not capable or brave enough to do that, then what do you rely on? You rely on just making fun of people. Even during Opie and Anthony, when we did Jocktober, we knew that it was a thing that you did from just time to time. You didn't focus your whole show on just making fun of other shows. It's stupid after a while.
Yeah, it really is dumb. By the way, this is our 10th year of one of these podcasts. Hope he's got it all figured out. I should be coming out here and talking about what happened to my day. I told that anecdote about my neighbors, so I was doing that for a minute. I don't know if that helps.
And he can't distinguish the difference between radio in the late 90s, early 2000s, and podcasting of 2025. You can do this format. You can do a format because there's so many fucking podcasts out there. We were just doing radio shows. How many can you get? Yeah, we do it once a year, Jocktober, because if you did, you'd run out of fucking shit, quite frankly. There are plenty of bad radio shows, but not that many. Podcasts, holy shit, it's unlimited. So this guy, again, is his old boomer fucking attitude and lack of knowledge about what's going on in 2025.
And he thinks Sirius XM is being held up by Ron Bennington's shoulders.
Cheers.
He acts like this was all planned out. They're like, okay, we can make fun of radio stations, but it can't go more than 22% of the airtime. We also have to talk about hoarders from the night before. That's got to be at least 12% of it. It's like, I'm sorry I'm not getting the percentages right, Opie, because he immediately breaks his own rule here.
Beating the crap out of other shows day after day. No, I don't want to do that. And I don't think it's impressive at all. Sam and the boys pull more numbers than Cumia on the radio. That's a fact. Jack, Cumia better bring his best DeLorean talk next week. It was a bloodbath, and Sam was on reruns. Imagine what happens when Sam is live. You're obsessed with Sam Roberts? Look, man, knowing all the players, you're drunk, uncle. It looks like you're a big supporter of Sam Roberts. Oh my God. Can you imagine there's a supporter of Sam Roberts out there? And here I am now trashing people. This super chat came at the worst time. Because I'm going to lead right into what I said you shouldn't be doing. But,
kind of makes
like
you
said,
foolish.
you do it from time to time, a little here, a little there. It's fine. That's more than fine.
I love when Opie starts making up rules about how show formats can be.
Yeah. Here's I'll fill you in on this super chat here. First of all, Sam does mornings on satellite radio. There are no ratings.
Correct.
There are no ratings. I've done 2 shows so far on WABC on Sunday night. It isn't even close to a competing show. No. So him talking about ratings here is hilarious because, again, this is a troll. That's a fact. Jack is a John line,
correct?
Which now Kevin Brennan is using. So he obviously is a fan of goofing on John. And if you're a fan of goofing on John, you are obviously a fan of goofing on Opie. They're the same type of asshole. So another troll, and he's trying to get Opie to shit on me and Sam in a way. I mean, the guy obviously brilliant. He's got a few bucks to throw around. But for Opie to think this guy is not a troll is retarded.
The degree to which he won't take responsibility for anything happening in his life is so crazy that he won't take responsibility for his own show as it's happening. Like this super chat is something that happened to him, as if he had no control over it.
Yeah. I could reach over here and I gotta clean this up. This is all like show prep from so many days and shows. I work at doing this as you do, Carl. Right. We do. I see Shuley. They work. They cut video. You cut video. You go on. You have an idea of what the show's going to be before you hit on. And this fucking guy won't even give his viewers that courtesy of actually saying, hey, people are going to send me money. I want them to send me money. Let me actually work even the minimal to put them, to give them something that might be entertaining. He won't even go that far.
You're so right.
Digital panhandling.
How insulting is this? This guy is telling us our format is wrong from the laziest podcaster.
Laziest.
And Anthony, you've been talking about this lately, and it's great because it pisses off Kevin Brennan because it really is just e-begging. And Opie coming on here just waiting for super chats to come in, and there is some kind of dopamine rush or something with these colors because I see it happen to Kevin. I see it happen to Opie. They see an orange or a red, and they get real excited. They leave it up on the screen for a long time.
An adrenaline rush like when he used to hear, and here's Opie and Anthony, and then we'd go out on stage. This is his new adrenaline rush. Is that orange? I know what that is. Like a Monopoly board. Oh, I have St. James Place. Okay. That's it. Oh, Boardwalk. That's the blue one.
Right.
And the problem with that color-coded emotional response is that they feel the same way when they see other people get those colors.
Yes.
The exact
Yes,
opposite
yes.
feeling happens. And now
Right.
their
Pavlov's
stomach
idiot.
drops. and
That's
they're
my
angry.
orange. Orange is my color. What the fuck?
Right,
I thought you were my drunk uncle. Everybody's drunk uncle.
Let's get back to Sam Roberts. We got more Sam
Yeah,
Roberts
yeah.
bashing to go here.
So you're confused because you're like, wait, oh, but you don't like it. That was a chance to take a shot at him. Yeah, but the reality is that Anthony's definitely talking to more people than Sam Roberts. Sam's dead in the water at Sirius XM. Trust me. There's nothing going on there.
He just renewed his contract. What is he talking about? I don't listen to Sam, but I've talked to a number of people who told me that they're really hitting their stride now. Like they got the crew that should be together and they're doing a fantastic job.
Right, right.
I imagine they are doing a great job. Sam's been doing radio for decades and he's got a good crew. So I would imagine they're doing fine. What is this dead in the water? Why did they resign him then?
I got to call Opie right now because he almost gave me a compliment. Hold on. We're getting the show back together.
Thanks for being a human being.
Yeah, yeah.
We appreciate you.
And again, why would he want all of these shows to fail? They're all tied to him. Wouldn't you want everything tied to you to be a success? Isn't that like the greatest thing that would ever happen to you, Opie? The fact that you're cutting all these strings before they can even carry you up is so scary.
I think if you have something going on in your life, you're more apt to look at other people's success and go, oh, good for him. Hey, that's good. It's kind of a offshoot, a alien clone of what we did. And but if you have nothing going on in your life and you're talking to 20, 30 people on your whatever this is, you're going to be bitter about anyone else's success. And that's what he's done. I love the fact that Sam's doing a show. He's on WWE and shit like that because I don't have any qualms about what the fuck I'm doing and what I've done over the course of the past 11 years since I was fired and what I'm doing now. Like I'm psyched. I'm energized. I'm excited for it. Imagine sitting here at your beach house in the Hamptons and you have nothing going on except what you had at some point.
It's so obvious that he's bitter and jealous because you could plug in what Sam's doing or obviously Anthony on WABC. He's talked about that quite a bit. Jim Norton and his new podcast that he's doing. And Opie's going on and just be like, all these people are watching it. I don't get it. It's like, you don't get it. you obviously don't get it. You don't understand why people like Jim, why that show's catching on.
Yeah, I just streamed last night. I did. I
saw that.
Drinks out in Greenville. I come back. I'm like, yeah, let me fire this up. I haven't done a live stream in quite some time. And you get a couple of thousand people watching. I wake up and there's 20 some odd thousand views and shit. It's like he fucking hates that.
Oh, yeah.
He hates that we have an audience because we give the audience something.
Yep.
We're actually working at it.
He also hates comedy and he hates radio. Like, why would you? You're known for bringing comics up, right? You launched so many legendary comics. Why would you not start discovering younger comics? That might be something people trust you for. Why don't you have any interest? Stuttering John said not that long ago, somebody asked him about what he thought of Seinfeld, and Stuttering John was like, I don't watch other comedians. I don't watch their specials. I don't watch comedy. I don't want to be influenced.
That was the funniest
I heard that. Fucking hilarious.
And it's not even just to say that and to practice it, but to believe this is a smart saying, to believe you're like Leonardo DiCaprio taking on some role. You're like, I don't want to see the other people do this role. I need to do my take on
He's
it.
Daniel Day-Lewis staying in character.
He's not interested. Neither of them are interested in comedy or radio. If they would, they would know.
Right. He's not even paying attention, like I said, to Sirius XM. He has no idea what their strategy is or what they're doing now. But he'll talk about it as if he's an authority on it.
Yes.
And he should be. He worked there a long time, but he had his own channel named after him. But all right, so apparently, people want Opie to come on their shows, and they reach out and they make him offers, and Opie always says no.
Another one like saying, "Let's bury the hatchet. Come on my show. I'll send you a card." I'm like, how delusional are these
Chrissy,
people?
I think,
There's
right?
someone I've never met.
Yeah, so when he's talking through this, I thought at first he was talking about Louis J. Gomez, maybe talking about sending a car, bury the hatchet.
Yeah, it was Chrissy Mayer.
Yeah, it was Chrissy. That I there is a reveal here, but I just thought for sure because he's trying to be coded with this.
Never met. That worked under Anthony. So because you worked under Anthony, you got to take shots at me.
See, that's why I thought it was Lewis, because I know he worked for you for a little while.
Oh, right.
And Lewis has never talked shit about Opie, but Opie wouldn't tell you that. Opie would say that Lewis is definitely
right.
I've never used that phrase "worked under." Like, why would you say?
Yeah.
He's just trying to make everything sound gross. You work with, you work for, you work under. He's got to make it sound creepy.
Yes.
Also, everyone who goes to work for Compound gets their marching orders on the first day. There's a little packet they give you about conduct, personal conduct. It's like, always be bashing Opie. Yep, got that.
Yeah. My HR department makes sure they get the pamphlet.
It just goes with the lay of the land. I think that's when E-Rock started pumping up his hate towards
waistline.
me. Oh, sorry, E-Rock, trying to become a human being so I could get my life's work back someday. I apologize, E-Rock. I didn't mean that.
It's a good bit, Opie.
Another one like saying,
keep that one up. It's working for you.
Yeah, it really makes you look more human.
So this is where it's revealed that it was Chris.
And this person, just takes shots at me. Never met the person at all. Don't know the first thing about her. And I was just trying to do my thing, and all of a sudden she just like a zzz. So I took my dumb shot, right? And then because my dumb shot was really, really good, that was the one where I said, "You're boring AF."
He literally got invited to be on a show. She said she'd send a car, and he had to tweet out in public that Chrissy's show is boring AF. And then he went on a show and admitted he never watched it. And Opie's acting like he's the victim on this. He got invited on a show.
Why can't he say as? Why wouldn't you say you're boring as F? I don't get that, but all right.
He was just saying all these people taking shots at me. They're taking shots at me. So I took my little shot and everyone freaked out. Yeah, that's what you're doing right now. You know, you never met Jay Leno before you did the Jay Leno show, and you weren't like, why, I've never met Jay. You just did the show because you have something to promote. If you have something to say or something you believe in or even like or something you're raising money for, you have a motivation to go do someone's show. The fact that you're like, who the fuck are you? Have you looked at your numbers? Have you looked at hers?
Yeah, especially if you're not getting numbers. Like, he's not getting anyone watching him. You'd think he would jump on the opportunity to do anyone's show that's getting better numbers than him, which is pretty much everyone.
That's what I do.
And Chrissy Mayer, it would kind of be if you thought you could endear yourself with the audience by going through Chrissy. You know, he doesn't want to do my show, obviously, but that's kind of a peripheral thing where it's the same people, some of them, that he could actually talk, say something to Chrissy, and some of the viewers might go, wow, that was pretty cool, or Opie comes on the show. That alone would kind of be cool. And then if he talks and he's a little humble and he's a little bit personable, maybe some people would go, you know what, maybe I'll watch his show. But he's incapable of this. Because he's not human, like E-Rock said.
He doesn't believe in himself. And that was the thing. With you taking the WABC job, what pissed him off the most about it is how humble your approach was to that. Drew Lane was messaging me. He's like, it's so impressive how well Anthony's doing, because he's looking at like these podcast charts, and people are listening to your radio show as a podcast. It's in the top 150. It's like, it's crazy how many people are listening.
As a podcast, it's crazy.
Yeah. People are listening to the show. It's not even really supposed to be a podcast. It's a radio show. It's up on YouTube. I was listening to the most recent episode yesterday. People are sharing it everywhere. It's getting all these views and all these listens. And Opie knows that he'll fail. He knows deep down, if he were to put himself out there, it wouldn't work. If he were to go on Chrissy's show, he would embarrass himself. He knows that, so he has to make excuses and act like everyone's against him, and it's a no-win situation. Get out there and promote yourself, retard. That's how you grow your show.
my boss yesterday, he texted me and told me that I should take the gloves off.
Oh,
he goes, yeah, that's the boss.
I love it.
I've been, and you know, you get, it's my first foray back into broadcast radio in years, decades. And I've been kind of holding back a little bit. I don't want to be a shock jock, obviously, but I've kind of pulled back even more. And with some of the complaints I've gotten from the Tel Aviv Times and stuff, you know, being Missy B's boyfriend doesn't fucking help. But they're
like, this guy's anti-Semitic. You're like, whoa. It's not me. That's the other one.
Compared to this fucking broad. But it's funny. He called me up and he's like, I just wanted to let you know, like, don't hold back. He goes, I just want you to know, you don't have to hold back. He goes, take the gloves off, man. Be you. I'm like,
that's awesome.
That's fucking. They'll be sorry about it, and I'll probably.
Can you put the gloves back on, please?
That's why Anthony's saying this right now. So when he gets in trouble in a month, he's like,
right. I want everyone to at least know that's what happened.
Because my dumb shot was really, really good. That was the one where I said you're boring AF. She never got
brags
over
about that.
Now she
I know he's bragging about a tweet.
Terrible comeback.
That was not good at all. He's like, oh, it's so good.
I'm rubber, you're glue. I had a great one.
Boom.
Just me on the regular, but I'm like, I didn't even know you. I didn't do anything to you. You felt like you had to attack me because you worked under Anthony.
Again, he knows the motivation. He understands everything that's going on.
Always. These are comics, you dummy.
Right.
They make jokes.
Yes.
And yeah, they'll roast people. There's difference between, do you think Chrissy Mayer actually has animosity toward Opie and wants to destroy him or make him personally feel bad, or being tied to me in a business-wise as far as combat or friendship? She has opportunities to make jokes about a guy that is pretty worthy of jokes, but he sees it as a personal attack. He always did. When all the comics were on, Voss and DePaulo and Patrice, and they're all around goofing on each other, every insult that he got, he saw as a personal affront to him instead of, it's guys busting balls. It's what we do.
Yeah, because he knows deep down that he deserves this.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what it comes down to. Like, if you told me a bunch of shit to my face that I felt bad about myself for, it's going to reinforce my feelings about myself. But if I'm confident in what I do, and you come on and you go, Carl, no one watches your podcast, you stink. I'm like, oh, okay.
So it's just noise.
You could be confident about the shirt you put on, you know.
Right, I know. Seriously.
Did you put that shirt on, or did your mommy pick it out for you?
Doesn't matter what they say.
Like, hey, Rich, enough about my shirt. Yeah. The shirt is getting you flustered, dude.
But this is also going back to like Chad Zumach thinking. Chad has said many times that we got a memo one day to go after him. Like Chrissy and Frank told me and Anthony. God. And like we got all these people, like we had this meeting and we're just like, okay, who are our enemies today? They're like Chad Zumach. Okay, write that down, Chad Zumach. Okay, yes. That's what we're going to do now.
I didn't put memos out for real shit that needed to be done around.
I don't communicate anything to anyone. Like, Carl's show is scripted.
It's always strange to find a lack of sense of humor about yourself in a comedian, because it really doesn't happen. The nature of being a comedian is that you find everything funny and you'll always appreciate going for the joke, even when it fails. I remember early on in WATP, there was somebody that would call in and make fun of Carl, be like, oh, are you having a chauffeur Steve on next, and then a blender Bill after you go to band practice? And you found it so funny. There was nothing funnier to you than somebody just calling out whatever was happening. It's genuine. I don't think a sense of humor about yourself is something you can develop over time. You either have it or you don't. Chad Zumach's the same way. He was talking about how he was making a list of all the lies that Carl tells about him, and WATP is playing, and at some point Carl said, now, you know, Chad's a guy with no self-confidence. Chad goes, lie number 2. Chad doesn't have self-confidence. As if this is, they don't know what humor is. They don't understand. Opie, you have all the facts. Everyone's lying. They're all monsters. They're all misinformed. And you won't take any opportunity to go and explain to everybody what the truth is? You're not interested in that. No, it's what you said, Carl. He can't because he knows deep down
all vague.
he'll lose.
Yep.
Yeah,
Deep
it all has to
down,
be vague
man,
stuff.
they just know.
One more clip on here. So the question is asked, who his favorite coworker of all time was.
Wow. Okay. How did I miss this?
It's so stupid. He starts with
Anthony?
talking about a caddy that he used to caddy with. I'm like, okay, that's not the point. You don't have to tell us about a guy you
caddy
liked when you were
story.
19. You know,
He could have, Shuley could have done an Uncle Rico about Opie too.
Yes.
He goes back so far about the glory days.
Right.
And it's fucking terrible. They're dumb stories.
Yeah, that's not what anyone's talking about. If someone asks you who your favorite coworker is, it's someone that we would know of. Someone who's been talked about on the radio or has been on the radio, personality, something.
Yeah, Garrett was fucking, we would hang out in the WNEW office after the show, smoke, drink, play video games. I had so much fun with Garrett. There.
See how easy that is? Everyone knows who Garrett
See how
is,
easy
and
it
they
is?
go, yeah, that makes sense. So let's find out who his favorite coworker is.
This will piss off a lot of people, but it's the truth.
I like how he starts out. This is going to piss off a lot of people because everyone's just sitting there going, I hope I'm the favorite. Oh, I hope I'm the favorite.
Be it.
I hope
Well,
nothing's
everyone
off
he's
limits.
ever met or worked with is watching right now, so he's got to keep their feelings in mind.
Definitely
it would be
not
Carl
his
Ruiz.
All right, so here's the big reveal.
It would be Carl Ruiz.
A guy whose name you still can't pronounce correctly. Carl Ruiz. He's told you that
Ruiz.
a million times. You still call him Carl
Ruiz.
Look, not to take away from Anthony and the chemistry we had early on, but when I reinvented myself after Opie and Anthony ended,
All right, something very funny is about to happen, but did anyone think it was going to be Anthony? He's like, guys, I got to tell you, it's not Anthony. It's like, yeah, we know that's not your favorite coworker.
I don't want to take anything away from the monster.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Reinvented. Look, it's a wheel. What is it now? A wheel. It's not reinvented anything.
It's rounder now.
Yeah.
All right, so check this out. This is great. Classic Opie right here.
when I reinvented myself after Opie and Anthony ended, I'm sorry about this camera, man.
Getting seasick.
Gotta like get some more duct tape. I guess people made fun of the fact that I duct taped my camera to the back of my mouth.
Yes!
Really? This is what you do with your time, really?
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes! You're duct taping the camera and we're laughing at you for that. Why wouldn't we?
It's hilarious.
Does he not see the juxtaposition between this view that he puts into his personal life and the duct tape with which he applies to fix his professional life?
That's deep, man. Yeah,
You're right. And remember when he was
his
pointing
life.
out, he had to point out that he paid for the vacations they went on with Sam. Yeah. He had to say my apartment in New York, which is 500 feet above New York City. Like, he has to throw in these things to tell you how well he's doing. But duct tape is what
he's so
holds
bad
up
at
his
this,
camera.
and he has such a lack of desire to do it that he actually truly believes this is a favor he's doing for us.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and if
Hey.
we don't treat him right, he'll go away.
I'm doing you a favor. Does this guy understand? Look, we made a lot of money during the O&A show. And I know he had the same finance guy I had over the course of the years. We saved a lot of money. It was invested in very safe investments. And it was made purposefully through our agent and our finance guy so that when we got older, we didn't piss away everything we fucking made. And thank you to those people. So I know Opie has money for, I would even say $3,000-$4,000, and that's high end. In 2025, you can get an unbelievable camera, microphones, lighting. Just make it look like you're trying. Don't prep for the show or have guests or pay attention to anything but the chat. Fuck that. But at least make it look like you're fucking trying.
He still hasn't bought a broadcast microphone.
No.
Every other person I see who was in radio and now is podcasting has a broadcast microphone.
Everyone.
Every single person, because you know that you need to sound great.
He's so out of
that's a
touch.
big part of it.
Yeah.
He's so out of touch and uninterested that he doesn't know everyone, like, it's not Steven Spielberg anymore. You don't need a studio. You don't need, you know, WNE. You can just buy this stuff. And everyone knows this stuff is readily available. They're advertising your podcast kit, you know, on Instagram. Just buy it. Like, this is what the kids do before they even start their show, is buy this stuff. And you actually, a grown man, are saying to other grown men, oh, you don't like my duct tape? Yeah, we're not impressed, Opie. While you're looking at that view, put some fucking effort into something, and then maybe you can have a leg to stand on.
This goes back to what Anthony said originally, where Opie refuses to do a professional show because then it can be judged with other professional shows. The MD Foodie Boys have a multi-camera shoot, have professional microphones, have nothing to say.
No,
not a fucking thing to say, and they're very popular right now.
When Anthony was saying how easily you could stretch your dollar these days, I was thinking of those guys.
Right. Everyone can do this. It's very attainable.
And everything at Best Buy. You could literally go to Best Buy and buy a professional podcast. Just here it is. Here's my podcast.
We're doing the Dabble House next month. And we were actually we were consulting with some people who have done content houses in the past to kind of understand how to do this. And some of the advice we got was, so you guys are going to Florida? Yeah, just buy the shit when you get there. Just go, just make sure you're near Best Buy. Go in there, just buy all the shit that you need. It's like, that's how easy it is.
Yeah, you
it's
don't
easier
have to
than carrying
have
it with you.
Broadcasting equipment store.
Right.
You know, I don't have. It's not the old days.
Yeah, he's like, he thinks it's Steven Spielberg, and we can't make a movie unless we have millions of dollars. You know, Opie, if you chose to go into Costco with your family instead of sitting in the car and broadcasting from your phone, you could have bought one of those kits at a real cheap price, and we would have appreciated that.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to look good. He doesn't want to sound good, because then
if I try, I'm going to be judged.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he knows
laziness is fear. If I never
His
really
excuse
tried,
can always be, I'm not even trying. Look at me. I have a shitty camera with duct tape. I don't prep for anything. So if you say I suck, of course I do. I'm doing that on purpose to suck. And because he's got, again, bringing back to the no confidence thing.
Yeah.
Laziness is fear is a brilliant take. This is Stuttering John as well. He's the laziest person I've ever encountered in my life.
Yes.
But he's so fearful because he knows he's going to fail miserably.
Yeah.
That's interesting. All right. You guys got time for a game real quick?
Yes. Please.
Let's do this. We got 2 minute with Tom from the Great Cardiff Electric.
It's time for everyone's favorite new game show, 2 Minutes with Tom. What do you say, Adam Busch and Anthony Cumia? Are you ready to find the bomb?
Yes,
Playing
Potato.
2 minutes with Tom.
Baltimore is a really sadistic city. It is. This weekend at the Inner Harbor, they're holding a walk to support people with ALS. That's right. A lot of people are going to be walking to support a group of people who can't fucking walk. How sadistic is that?
That was such a Bill Hicks right there.
Bill Hicks.
That is such a ripoff. Not the joke, not the content.
No.
Just the demeanor and how you delivered this.
For people who can't fucking walk. Did you get that, people?
You know, in Dog Day Afternoon, when Al Pacino is like holding all the people hostage in the bank, he's pacing in front like that, just like, a lion in a cage.
Attica.
Yeah.
To support a group of people who can't fucking walk. How sadistic is that? It's like, hey everybody, let's show these guys how much fun it is to do something they can't do anymore. Yeah, we're going to show them how much fun it is walking when you don't have ALS.
He told the same joke 4 times and actually got a laugh on the 4th time. That's incredible.
Reiterating.
This audience is very generous.
Honey, if you laugh, he'll move on.
Yeah, right. Like, okay, we get it. ALS, walking.
The ice water bucket challenge makes a lot of sense because when you get that ice water dumped on your head, you feel shock, your brain goes numb, you can't move your limbs. It's like actually getting ALS. I want to start.
What did Tom say next? Here are your choices. Number 1, the aborted fetus in a bucket challenge to raise money for Planned Parenthood.
Okay.
B, the 12 tumors in a bucket challenge to raise awareness for cancer. Next, the garbage bucket challenge to raise money for the Republican Party. 4, the loose stool in a bucket challenge to raise awareness for Crohn's disease. And lastly, the whiskey bucket challenge to raise awareness for alcoholism. 2 minutes with Tom.
All right. I think I know. I'm going to give out a little clue here. I don't think Tom gets political in his stand-up. I don't think he wants to divide the audience by calling out Republicans.
Yeah.
Loves to do it on the podcast, not in the stand-up. So I'm going to say next is off the table on this. I think it's number 4 because he loves potty humor. He loves poopy jokes. But there's another one I'm looking at. What do you think, Anthony? What do you think is the answer here?
Absolutely. I mean, it's another actual disease. Like, it doesn't work with Republican. Not that I'm saying he knows jokes that work.
Right, yeah.
But the tumor thing is a little much. You don't want, people with cancer in the audience might not like that.
Yep.
The Planned Parenthood thing, it's not really a disease. Whiskey, alcoholism is a disease to some people. But the Crohn's disease, loose stool challenge, shit coming out of a bucket on your head. It's got him written all over it.
It's got it all. What do you think, Adam?
I'm going to go with lastly. I don't think he's above next. I think he would say that if he thought the audience was right and it would get a pandering laugh. But I'll go with lastly because it's just very wordy and hard to say.
All right. Producer Chris?
Number 1, aborted
right.
fetus.
All right. Let's see.
Interesting.
Oh.
Your head, you feel shock, your brain goes numb, you can't move your limbs. It's like actually getting ALS. I want to start the loose stool and a budget challenge. Bring awareness to people with Crohn's disease.
You know what would have tripped me up a little? Diarrhea. If he said diarrhea, but loose stool is like, yeah, I want to keep it kind of classy up here. I won't say diarrhea. Loose stool was just, it's too worked out and calculated. So that's why, yeah. Victory.
And I was going to go with 5 was my second choice.
Oh, okay.
One. Producer Chris, you're just a big loser.
Yeah.
And for those just listening, it is remarkable to watch Tom. He is prowling the stage like it's Madison Square Garden. And his gaze is like looking up into the upper deck that's not there in this small club. I don't know why he's acting like that.
He's also got this weird, I don't know why, but I'm reminded of early Seinfeld delivery.
Yeah.
Like, well, what is that about? He's definitely biting off a few different comics.
There's this similar kind of vacant look behind the eyes. And when he leans in, when he actually does make eye contact with an audience member, it's very uncomfortable. You don't want him looking directly at you. It's like someone trying to remember a monologue and their eyes are just up all the time because they're trying to think of the words. Like he's not present when he's talking. He's in this like nervous state and he briefly comes out of it. Are they laughing? Okay, yeah. And then he goes back to it. You just don't want it near you.
Stool and a bucket challenge to go ahead and bring awareness to people with Crohn's disease.
So happy with yourself.
Yeah. This episode has been brought to you by Hackamania.com. Go to Hackamania.com right now and use promo code CUM to save 10% on your tickets. Come. You're soaking in it.
Yes, of course.
Sit, Eugene, sit. Good dog.
Well, there you have it. Anthony and I are both winners today and forever because Anthony is the host of the Anthony Cumia Show on Compound Censored. Go to censored.tv. Your Compound Media is still a thing?
Yes, it's still a thing.
Sign up for that. You can watch Anthony Cumia's show Monday through Thursday, 4:30 to 6. And then, of course, everyone's talking about the WABC show you're doing on the radio Sunday nights.
Yes, I got coming up Sunday tomorrow, actually. Steve Grillo. I'm going to have Grillo on. I
Great.
know a lot about the early Howard Stern days. I remember listening to Grillo on there. So not just your regular, like, what was Howard like? I know every fucking thing about what went on when Grillo was on that show. So it should be a fun guest to have this Sunday, 8 p.m. on WABC. Go to the App Store, 77 WABC. Get the app. You can listen wherever the fuck you are.
Yeah, like I said, people are checking out the show and listening to it like it's a podcast.
Yeah,
and it's nice. You can zip through those commercials and get right to the content.
They wouldn't like to hear that on the sales meeting I had to get up for at 9 a.m. Yesterday. It's like I got a real job.
Yeah, what the fuck is that all about?
I fucking got myself a real goddamn job. I'm having Zoom meetings with salespeople.
Oh, they probably gave you your own email address. You probably have an ABC email address.
I got that.
Now you
and
have
then
an inbox to look at.
Engineering, the bosses. I'm just like, oh, I remember this. Yeah, awesome.
You're
making
Anthony,
it seem
I always
way less
wondered desirable.
I always wondered what how much of an impact Jackie had on John in terms of his bitterness and his blaming the boss and his
that's a good,
always
Jackie
wanting more. And then I always wondered whether Grillo would be as bitter if he didn't have John telling him constantly that this is how it is and you're never gonna make, and these are the enemies. I wonder if John wasn't in his ear, if he would have had a healthier attitude about it.
Right. I'll ask him about this tomorrow because 90s era Howard Stern show. How the fuck do you look at anyone and go, oh, yeah, I wasn't getting paid. This sucked. In hindsight, I see. And you go, dude, every guy in the world wanted that job. Yep. Fuck you. I'll pay to be in that studio in the 90s during the Howard Stern show. And, they have this kind of look back in bitterness at the lack of pay. And I had to get his potato and all that. And look, it probably did suck if you're in it, but it seems like a real, really, you hated it. It was the greatest job you could fucking have.
So because you have a radio background, you'll understand the problem these guys all had, and Stuttering John especially, is when you're hired as an intern, people will always see you as a guy who's worthless. We pay you no money.
And in John, that was true.
Correct. And I shouldn't say worthless. It's just that, you put your value so low because they're paying you nothing to come and get school credits. So what people do in radio, but actually every industry, is because they're seen as an intern, I have to now take that experience and get a job somewhere else and then build my career. Right. And guys like Grillo, and Grillo's, I'm sure, is a great guy, and Stuttering John, they thought they were just going to come up with this show and eventually become the host of it. That's not how radio works. You don't go from intern to host or co-host of the show. You got to bounce around.
In the military or the police department, when you get a promotion where you're now brass, you have men under you, they put you in another fucking place. You're not with the same people that you were a private with. Or shit like that. You now have authority, and they'll never see you that way. So you do have to leave and go somewhere else where they don't know that you were this lowly piece of shit for so long.
And also, if you're talented, I've seen it happen many, many times. I've seen the craft service person become a producer. I've seen the writer's intern becoming a writing assistant, become a writer, become a producer. If you're talented and you're capable, someone's gonna need your hand. Someone's gonna say, who should go with Howard to do this thing? We don't have. That intern's really smart. Tell them. And suddenly, you're not just an intern. But when you're like, the job's over at the 5 minutes after Howard's done, I'm out, then people are always gonna look at you like you're an intern. Howard dedicated his book to Grillo. So it always sounds a little disingenuous.
I have a theory on that, but go ahead.
That he did it not to pay him? He just did it because he didn't want to pay him? What's the theory?
Yeah. So Grillo was an unpaid intern after he was no longer going to school, which is illegal. You can't employ someone who's not getting school credits and give them zero money. And they did that for, I think,
it's called slavery.
Yes. It's frowned upon now these days.
Right.
So I think that was Howard being like, oh, shit, I'll throw him a bone here and give him something. Now, I
I
could be
just
wrong.
thought
Maybe
Howard
Bill
had
was
a
the
few
best.
books printed out where they were dedicated to each guy, and he just gave them the dedication.
Look what I did for you.
That's a funny idea.
There's a
Yeah,
thing-
yeah.
It does happen in the business where you're an intern for someone that is famous but treated you like shit. Then you become successful and people go, hey, you were used to be an intern
Right.
for that legend. How was it working with them? You don't say they were a piece of shit who never paid me. You go, I learned everything I learned from
Right,
them.
exactly,
That's what
yeah.
you, and then they go, I taught him everything he knows. He was my buddy. And you build something together. You don't burn every bridge just as a rule and then wonder why you're alone and broke.
Interns we treated like shit on the Opie and Anthony show at
Yes.
NW have gone on to get executive positions.
Exactly.
Chris Oliveira is like in charge of the CBS radio division. And Al Dukes. Al Dukes is a bigwig in the company. And these were guys we shit on because they were the shock jocks. You shit on them. You shit on the interns. That was part of it. But so there were very talented people and smart people that sometimes can go up through the ranks like that, but it's kind of rare. It's kind of rare, and you do have to maybe go somewhere else.
Yeah, to bounce around a little bit. Don't be the co-screener for 15 years and then complain that you're not the host.
Right.
I get no respect around here.
All right, Anthony, you've been very generous with your time, buddy. Thank you so much.
Love it. I love it. And I wanted to meet Adam. I've watched your show, obviously, Carl, and when Adam's on, a very insightful, funny guy. I'm a fan. I'm a fucking fan, Adam. All right.
Thank you so much. It was the moment where John was on your show and he said, you know what my problem is? And you said, the problem you have is piling up in front of you. That was the moment that transcended politics and all these things. And we all came together as one. And people from all over the world are having the same feeling.
We had a common enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Thanks,
hilarious.
man.
Let's
Thanks
do it
for
again, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you.
Bro.
Thanks so much, man. Adam, we were going to talk about donkey lips, but we're running long.
I really wanted to shit on him. I thought it'd be so funny if I was intolerant of this
Can we save
former
it for
Nickelodeon
Wednesday?
actor. Yeah. I just want to talk shit about him and be
Yeah,
completely
I
unintolerant.
was wondering what your angle was going to be.
These
because,
aren't
you know,
credits. These aren't even credits. He hasn't worked in 4 years. Who is this kid? No, I can't. I love the guy. He's fucking adorable. I just want to squeeze little cheeks.
Were you guys on Nickelodeon at the same time?
No, he was there before me. But
Okay, yeah.
I watching what he had to say about the Dabbleverse, and then watching the Dabbleverse's completely different Rorschach test reactions to what they saw is gonna be so much fun on Wednesday.
Okay, let's talk about that on Wednesday because I have the clips. I don't have Kevin Brennan. I might be able to track it down because I guess Kevin Brennan watched it and reacted to it.
He fell in love.
So.
Kevin was trying to pay him like a stripper in advance for
Okay.
appearances
That's
that
very
he made
good.
yet.
And I did watch Salute Your Shorts. I assume that we're probably around the same age. You were probably in the Salute Your Shorts age range, right, Adam?
Yeah, I remember that with Hey Dude. That was the other
Yep.
one.
Yep.
I remember that.
So I remember Donkey Lips when he
Mhm.
was a big famous Nickelodeon kid. And now Patrick Melton gives him grief, and rightfully so, from everything that I've seen. But we'll save that. You know what that was? I didn't even try to do this, but I think we just did a...
Everyone's favorite part.
The teaser. Oh my God. I'm becoming too good at this. That's the biggest complaint I get when people write this show. This podcaster is too good at this job. Making everyone else look bad. All right, no one's going along with me on that one. All right, well, in that case, let's get some internet news. We'll be back with voicemails right after this.
Internet news with Jenny Jiggles.
From YouTube, D. Matthews Crows, bless you for bringing Scorch back into our lives. Yeah! Christopher Blue notes, his truck has Buzz Lightyear colors. Tips True News explains the 1-year anniversary. Scorch goes by dog ears. Ben with the inspirational, keep pursuing your dreams long after they've died. General Ocean Wolf is confused. Carl, what are you talking about? Never heard of this guy. Scorch, is it? Sounds like a real up-and-comer to me. Looks like he's got it all together. Can't wait to see where this guy ends up. Buck Satan 2 wonders, Opster, Stut Joe, KB, and Scorch? Would that be the lolcow Mount Rushmore? Jack Longbridge addresses Stuttering John's latest departure. Final show? This guy has had more final shows than the Stones. Vlad the Dragon gets misty. Godspeed, John. See you in a month or so. Plague Rat opines, this is the best version of John, when he doesn't acknowledge the Dabbleverse and actually tries to put on a good show. We all joyously get to watch a spectacular failure, just like when Homer tried to act professional at the power plant to impress Frank Grimes.
The professionalism!
Mitchell Hollingsworth, John's guest Ava passes for a lady more than John passes for a human. And from Dabblers Anonymous Waste Volume reports, Ava turned! Another swing and a miss for the dummy. Saves the best for last with another heel turn. Opie is a hack riffs, enjoy your transgender prison. Long Iron 6 points out, maybe, just maybe, if he showed her the tiniest sign of respect and learned her name, it might have gone different. Fix It 403, turns out people don't like being used as a prop. Michael Popak adds, you couldn't write this script. Everybody that associates with the dumbass clowns him in the end. He's a retard that's not smart enough to learn to stop interviewing people or going on shows. Stupid asshole. Walkhand spitballs. Now stick with me on this. The Ava and Clay Show. I think it has some serious potential. Hot by 8686 is dubious. I'd rather listen to the sirens in Clay's neighborhood than hear him speak. Ava is a good guest, though. The fool who follows 440 offers, Ava and Tukey would go together like PB&J. Fudgical weighs in. She was great on the show tonight. I was shocked. This turn is awesome because John's woke programming won't allow him to trash and privately harass her as he normally would. John also fears her reporting him to the trans activist groups because that's something he would do. The Duke of Roscoe Boulevard, exactly. John fears most what he would do. And Majestic Risk 7 plays us out with, I know, right? I thought the Dabbleverse was done about a year and a half ago, but we just keep getting these little diamonds.
Avon Tukey, that would be taking away Tukey's girlfriend, Annie, our review girl. It'd be pretty messed up. I wouldn't stand for it.
What is it with Opie and John refusing to learn people's names even when talking directly to them? It's been years, and he still calls her Ava and Carl Ruiz. What does he say?
Yeah, Ruiz instead of Ruiz. Yeah, it's definitely a I'm more important than you thing to do, right? Even if it's subconsciously. Because I always feel bad if I get someone's name wrong, and I'm terrible with names, and I forget them all the time. And I see the same people at events and shit, and I'm the worst. That's why I'm like, can we do name tags?
Yeah, it's very effective.
At one of these events. But those guys love to not know. Nothing better than not knowing. All right, let's check out some voicemails. If you want to leave us a voicemail, whoarethese.com is where you want to go to get the phone number.
I got a question about Dabble House. If I buy the ticket and I can't watch live, will I have access to the material after the fact?
Yes, very good question. I never talk about that. But yes, we'll be live Friday night at 8. We'll be live Saturday at 2. We'll be live Saturday night at 8. But you might not be watching at that time. And you don't have to be. You can watch it anytime afterwards. It'll still be up there for you. So dabblecon.live is where you want to go. This guy who had the good question is now angry for some reason.
You know something? I call in for the Wednesday show to ask a legitimate question about Dabble House, and can I listen to the show after the weekend is over if I buy the ticket? And all you fucking do is play voicemail after voicemail about pineapple on pizza and the Wednesday and Saturday listener debate and fucking boner guy and his 3-minute long emails. You go Bills. Gary sucks too. What the fuck, man? Answer my question.
All right. Yes. So the reason why we didn't play your voicemail, I listen to voicemails every Tuesday night and every Friday night. That's my schedule. If you call during the day of the show, real good chance I won't get to it until the next show. Don't get to it. That was a good question. All right. Let's not get all upset with the host of the show now. My optometrist is calling into the show.
Good morning, Carl. This is Chris calling from your optometrist office. You said that Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, is a smoke show. So we need for you to come in and get your prescription changed immediately.
Come on. You've not seen her in a bikini? Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy.
Hey, Hamburger. Yeah, Jody B has a good point. Listen, I never donate to any podcast because all you fuckers make way too much money anyway.
As if.
But if you actually started a thing to do a GoFundMe or a charitable thing to raise money to get John on a ballot somewhere, I might actually have to throw 20 at that. Like, that's fucking hilarious.
John should start a GoFundMe to run for office or actually buy a boat or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is.
Venmo me and I'll send a check.
Okay, we'll start a GoFundMe for John, but don't worry, we're good for it.
Do you remember when people were Venmoing him and then they started to request money?
Yes.
It made him so angry he couldn't look at the app because, again, he's so color coordinated. He didn't like whatever color that was.
Right.
They weren't really taking money. They're just requesting it, but that was too much.
That's all it took.
Mm-hmm.
Deluxe calling in.
Carl Deluxe. Hey, man, I think I just ran over one of the Saturday listeners, man. Guy didn't know when to shut up. He knew I was a Wednesday listener. He's shooting his mouth off. A road rage kind of. Just fucking ran his ass over. Fuck you, Saturday listeners. Wednesday rules.
This rivalry is getting heated.
I know.
It's getting real serious now. It's too
like
much. I don't stand for it personally. All right. Well, Boner Guy, fortunately, is going to try to mend some fences here.
Go Bills. Wednesday, Saturday. Come on, guys. Let's not argue. Surely we can all agree both shows suck. But and they're never as good as voting for Carl at thecreepoff.com, which is a fabulous thing to do. And on the pizza front, obviously the ultimate is going to be gammon and pineapple. I don't even know if you have gammon in the US. It's like extra thick, extra salty bacon. Fantastic stuff. But here's the thing. So over here in Africa, we have Hawaiian chicken, which is chicken and pineapple pizza. I know it sounds fucking degenerate. It's actually really good.
Sounds good to me. I would do that. Did you say he was in Africa?
He did.
Yeah.
Thought he was in the UK. What do I know?
Hey, Carl. I just wanted to say that I listen to the show on Spotify, which means I'm a Thursday and Sunday listener. Fuck the rest. Don't call me back.
That is confusing. We record the shows on Wednesdays and Saturdays, but the shows come out, if you're an audio listener, Thursdays and Sundays. It's a one day off. You can do the math in your head, I imagine.
Hey, Carl, it's Chung Fu Ting from the Jingles Department. Hey, so this whole Wednesday versus Saturday listeners thing, I listen to both shows. I'm a loyal fan, so I don't really have a say in that, but I think I got to finally pick a side. I noticed that the Wednesday shows are lacking my favorite part of the show, everyone's favorite part of the show, the teaser. I mean, the teaser's so good, sometimes I just skip through the episode so I can get to the teaser, so I know what to be excited for in the next episode that I'm going to skip through. But, like, Wednesday having that? I'm sorry, man. I got to pick a side. Saturday fans all the way. Fuck the Wednesday shows. Anyway, call me back.
Honestly, I have no excuse for that. I should have teasers on every Wednesday show, but we don't do teasers typically on this show because I don't know what I want to talk to Adam about on Saturday afternoon. It's so far away. So much is going to happen. So I've kind of not been doing a teaser so that we can figure out what we want to do the day before or day of.
Yeah, it's really exciting that way.
I know you guys love it. I know you guys love when I wait for everything to the last minute and go, okay, prep away.
No, why take the time to formulate an informed opinion when I can just randomly say the first thing that comes to my head when the clip is presented to me and then be beholden to that for the rest of my life?
And this whole thing about what time to do the show, overrated.
I know.
Mm-hmm. That was on me, everybody. Don't blame Carl. He was not late. It was all me.
You showed up. So we started a little bit late today, but I am telling you, you showed up 12 seconds after Anthony showed up. So you guys it was perfect.
Good.
It worked out very well. Gary in San Diego does not sound well to me.
Oh, no.
Hey, Carl. Well, on John's final podcast, he sure did an awful lot of smacking, a lot of lip smacking. Item number 2, Triumph, the insult comic dog. I listened to his interviews.
Yeah.
On YouTube, and he really doesn't ask crazy questions.
No.
He just insults people.
Right.
Kind of like Don Rickles.
Right.
So he certainly doesn't owe John an apology. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking here in San Diego.
Oh, no.
Okay. Talk to you later. Bye. Rock and rolla.
I think Gary is not well. Drunk Engineer says this lip smacking is literally killing Gary. It might be.
David Feldman brought John to that point. He discussed this. He was a writer for Triumph, and on John's show, he discussed with him. He like with a child. Yeah. So was the puppet making fun of you? Yes. Was the puppet making fun of only you? No. So then maybe he wasn't just picking on you. Maybe it's what the comic dog does. Right. And John completely heard that point. It sank in and then went back and completely unraveled every single thing and went back to, but they should respect me. There's no point ever in trying to show John anything.
The insult comic dog kind of gives it away.
Yep. And he didn't know what to expect. And he was shocked by this response.
This guy's insulting me over here, Jay.
That's what David said. He was like, did you expect the mean puppet dog to compliment you? No.
So funny. Right here we have the perfect listener.
Hey, Carl, this is your third type of listener calling. This is someone who, I guess I would call it a high net worth listener. Listen to both shows, watch the YouTube channel.
Yep.
I'm the listener that provides the jobs for your Saturday listeners, so you're welcome.
Thank you.
And I'm the listener that pays all the fucking taxes for your lazy-ass Wednesday listeners, so you're welcome there.
Thank you.
And I got a pretty flexible schedule, make my own schedule, so, Carl, you can call me back whenever you want. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. There should not be a rivalry. Everyone should be listening to every show we put out because they're all amazing. Weird comment. Has been a member for 10 months. He says, we made a world without struggle, so folks invent things to struggle about. Put people in paradise, they'll burn it down just so something interesting happens. Yep, we have it too good. That's why Dylan Mulvaney exists. I'm convinced.
We blew it.
One more message here for Lucy Tightbox.
Howdy, bag flappers. This is Evan from Michigan here. Love you. Love the show. This is a message for Lucy Tightbox. Not sure if she heard, but Carl was talking about selling pre-orders for her bedroom, bathroom, and toilet cams during the Dabble House weekend.
That is true.
Sounds like a good idea, but it's probably best for you to just undercut him and sell your shower streams directly on your Patreon.
Whoa.
Just good business. Call me back. Bye-bye.
I'm going to get the best camera angle. I was going to get in that room first and get it all set up so that she can't do that. That is a pretty good idea, though. Actually, now I think about it. All right, Lucy, if you want to set up the cameras yourself.
Okay, you win.
Fine. I'll let you do that. All right, Adam, thank you so much, buddy. This has been fun today.
Thank you. This was such a treat and such a blast. I'm having the greatest
I
time
agree.
with you fellas.
And next time I'll tell you when the show starts.
That would be the best. I would really
I know that's on me. I sent out the link. I don't even put a time in there. I really am just the worst person ever. And so you're good for Wednesday? Join us again?
I can't wait. And we definitely have to cover Donkey Lips.
Cool. All right, good. Well, this will give me a chance to see some of the more reactions to it. Also, I heard, not to keep bringing him up, but everyone was saying that Chad had a meltdown this week. I couldn't find any clips of that because he's another one of these idiots who takes everything down and you can't find anything. So even when I hear news, I can't see what's going on. Although he might have been embarrassed by it. So that might be the reason why. But apparently he was yelling at people because they weren't donating enough money. And he was doing that, I'll take my ball and go home routine.
He's reached that point.
They all do. Donkey Lips, we're going to see. They all reach that point where they're just like, guys, I really don't want to get a job. Someone starts giving me some money, please, or I'm going to get very upset with you.
You said it. Something about being alone and streaming by yourself creates these certain things that it doesn't matter where you're from or your money. Yeah, it all is the same. Because Opie's the same way as Donkey Lips. But Donkey Lips is in a 500 square foot, studio apartment. He's in the Hamptons by the beach. And they both have the same
complaints.
Yeah.
Donkey Lips doesn't have a kitchen in his apartment.
Nope.
It's the craziest fucking thing. All right. We
Save it for the show.
Save it for Wednesday.
I got to go. Bye. I got to go. I got to go. I got to go. I got to go.
Okay, bye. That was a great episode. That was really great. That was a great show.
Man, that was a good episode.
That was a good episode.
I enjoyed that.
Carl, I love you.
Hi, this is High Pitch Eric, and you're listening to Who Are These Podcast? Chinese people smell.
Bye.
A plane has hit I Rewatch iCarly.
Boom. His mom.
Boom.
Boom.
Thank you. Please clap. I force applause breaks. I force them. Some people earn them. I force them.
Okay, bye.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.